Welcome in, guys. Start tapping them likes. Let's get them up there as high as we can, as quick as we can, guys. It really helps out the live, pushes it out there, and lets people know that we want to see more of this content. So please tap those likes. If you disagree with the background, the guest box is open. If you are friendly and you would like to come up, you are more than welcome. The conversations with friendlies are shorter, but I am willing to have conversations with friendlies.
Hello.
Yeah, give me just 1 second here. This isn't the
Okay.
right setup here. Let's see. We got this. Okay. Daniel, are you 18? And are you a believer in the Christian God?
Yes to both questions.
Okay. Um, do you not believe that the Christian God is evil? I'm guessing not.
No, I believe God is good, for sure.
Okay. Okay. So, give me just 1 second here. I'm still the
Yeah,
YouTube
yeah,
is
no
giving me a
problem.
little bit of issues, but
I enjoy your lives generally.
right on.
Sometimes you're a little hard-headed, but I appreciate that. There certainly
Right on.
should be a
All right.
unique way of doing your life to have originality. I mean, that's what I appreciate about most of these, atheist TikTok livers. So they are, most of them are unique, but not the Christian TikTokers. They are a bit, the same. But
Okay. So when I say God is evil, it's because of things God did. Do you think that unaliving infants is a bad thing?
um, I don't believe that God has infracted with reality, hasn't put a hand in it. Just the creation, just the first part. So I think, yes, unaliving would be bad, but I think it's through humans. Humans have done that.
Oh, so you don't believe like in the Bible.
I do believe in the Bible, which is that God doesn't infract, has no, doesn't put his hand in reality, just
That's
when
not what the
he's.
Bible says. And
The only time I know of when he did was when he sent his son down to.
so you don't believe any of the stories where it says God talked to like Moses or Solomon or any of the prophets?
Uh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay. So
I'm
this
more
is
of a New Testament follower, so, but yeah.
yeah, I mean, we can go to the New Testament too. Jesus advocates the unalivement of children in Mark 7 that are curse their parents or are disobedient. There.
Well, that would be for the fact that he hates sin and he believes sin should be punished. So, but
Yeah,
he
so
pu- but he
so you,
took up the punishment for the humans. So he loves those people as well.
okay, so you're fine with Jesus advocating that the Pharisees should have been unaliving children for being disobedient or cursing their parents?
Can you read the verse to me so I understand the context? I'm
Yep.
not very familiar with
Okay, so
that
it's
one.
Mark. It's Mark, chapter 7, and so like in the beginning, I'll just give you a little bit of background on what's happening. So the Pharisees come in, and the disciples are eating without washing their hands, and so they're coming to Jesus, and they're like, "Why are you letting them eat?" While their hands are defiled, when the traditions of the elders say you must not do this. And Jesus' response is, Isaiah prophesied rightly about you hypocrites. As it is written, the people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. In vain they worship me, teaching human precepts as doctrine. You abandon the actual commands of God and hold only to your human traditions. Then he said, you have a fine way of rejecting the commandments of God in order to keep your tradition. For Moses said, honor your father and mother, and whoever speak evil of father and mother must be unalived. But you say, if anyone tells father and mother whatever they have done for them is Corban, which means an offering to God, then you no longer have them do anything for their father and mother. So one of the or the two commands Jesus gives are about children honoring their father, and those who do not
Yeah,
are to be put to death. And like he's
I understand.
reprimanding them for not following that command, right?
Uh, what did you say the last word?
He's okay, not reprimand. He's kind of getting on to them because they don't follow that command.
Well, uh, one of the core beliefs in Christianity is that sin shall be punished, and well, that was before he was crucified. He was when uh, a cure was made for sin. Uh, at the time, whatever disobedience to God would be punished more heavily at the time. But
So did sinning change?
well, before that, uh, sins the sins of humans would be punishable if they or they would be if before Jesus Christ took upon the sins himself. So Jesus Christ will, that's the what the Bible has told us, and it may or may not be true, but that's one of the core beliefs that
Yeah, but Jesus said you have to follow all of the laws, even the smallest of them, until heaven and earth pass away.
well, yeah, but he also says that uh, those who will accept salvation will receive it. That's also one of the things he said. And he
Yeah,
gave away to the thief,
yeah, but
which
he
was
said
the
you have
first
to
person.
follow. He said every bit of the law you must follow.
Yes,
So you are still under the law, correct?
yes, your flesh will be punished, but not the soul. The soul is.
So are you being punished for not stoning kids that are disrespectful to their parents? Because that's part of the law.
Uh, mm, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure, but
Right on. Right
yeah,
on. I mean, that's a fair answer. That's a fair answer. Just the I don't know is always fair. Like
yeah.
we don't all know everything about everything, so
But
that's a
I
fair
would
answer.
lean towards that stoning, it's bad. You shouldn't, you know.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think that stoning, especially children, is pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
But Daniel, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming
yeah.
up.
I
Come up another
appreciate the
time.
time. Yes, I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
you have a good night, man.
Yeah, the same to you, man.
Daniel was a fine guest. Um, if you're somebody I am familiar with, and you should know if I'm well familiar with you, co-host is open. I'm going to keep a co-host for an hour since it's just open, and then I'll see if anybody else wants to come up and take over that I know well enough to have as a co-host, and we'll kind of just do that here tonight. Um, you chat you can, but don't get me taken down. That's all I ask. I love you, but please don't get me taken down. And we will not tolerate people coming up here and talking about what happened yesterday. You will be immediately removed because that's not doesn't have anything to do with our topic tonight. Um, so yeah. I don't care in the chat. You guys can say your opinions about that whole situation if you'd like. Just not up on the live. I get taken down for much less. If anybody disagrees with the Christian God being evil, go ahead and request up, and we can definitely talk about it. Yeah, I'm tired of seeing that's all my feed is, and I'm just like I'm getting both sides of it because I react to a lot of like pastors and stuff, so I get a lot of like preaching videos and stuff, and of course that side of TikTok is all that. So I'm getting a little bit of both sides there. How's it going, Benny?
What is going on,
You gonna take
everybody?
up my first hour slot?
Yeah, what?
You're sliding in my
Yeah,
slot
sure.
for an hour?
I'll slide up in your slot for an hour.
Nice,
I'll occupy
nice.
the slot. I just I'm not wearing a shirt right now, so I didn't want to go find a shirt to put my camera on.
Yeah, let's look at the definition of evil, Terry. Let's look at the definition of evil. That's a
Terry,
good point. In the chat, evil refers to profound immorality, wicked behavior, or something that causes harm, suffering, or repulsion. I believe that God fits all of those categories. Wicked is kind of a weird term for me. So I don't know about that one, but every other one I would say that because wicked is going to be, we're going to have to define that as well. But yeah, I think he fits every one of those categories.
oh, I'll find a shirt. Hold on.
Aw, Benny.
Gotta look for a
Narcissistic.
shirt.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Guys, if you disagree with the background, go ahead and request up. Everybody else, please start tapping them likes. Let's get to 5K as quick. Well, we're almost to 5K. Let's try to get to 10K as quick as we can, guys. Last time we didn't hit our 100K goal of likes, and that is our goal every live, and I would appreciate it if we could do that here today.
Yeah, guys.
Um,
Joyful's like a real stickler about his numbers, so please. Otherwise, I get yelled at.
I do. I yell at Benny. I'm like, why the fuck are my numbers not good? It's your fault.
Seriously.
I call him immediately after my shows, and it's
I'm
bad.
like, geez, I'm so sorry. I was trying to come up with a background.
How about the words narcissism and Christianity used interchangeably? I know this form. Yep, sure. Content creator is responsible. What is the content creator responsible for?
What? The content? I don't. What?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I'm responsible for the. Well, Benny's actually responsible for the background because he made it for
Oh,
me. I just told him what to make. He makes them because he's a wonderful human
you
being.
know, and I made that background and I didn't save it to my photos, so I don't have that background. I have this one.
Well, that's fine. We could
Yeah,
do a little bit of both. People can choose between the two. If they want to go that route, they'll have to talk to you.
sure. Even though I'd rather talk about that subject.
Yeah, me too. I'm just getting kind of bored with doing that same one over and over.
Yeah. Um, If anybody's out there and just disagrees with either of these, yeah, just guessed up. There's a little like pink and blue little icon at the bottom there. You just click on that, and you can come up and talk to us. And I promise we'll be nice.
We will. If you were in here for my first discussion, me and Daniel had a great discussion. It it ended with he just doesn't know, which is fair. Oh, we got much faith coming up. Much
Yeah.
faith. Are you over 18 and are you a believer in the God of the Bible?
Yes, I believe it. I believe in God. The world created He is the first.
You are super quiet.
Yeah, I'm a believer and I believe in God, the one who created the universe.
Where did Terry go? I'm trying to mess with my settings. All right. You believe in the God that created the universe, so you don't believe in Yahweh or Jesus?
I believe in him. He's the same God. I believe in him.
I was gonna
Oh,
say,
okay.
with a name like Much Faith, you would have to have more faith than just like a random God
I
creator.
would think so. Oh, I'm sorry, Terry. I'll bring you up here in just a minute. Back up. Much faith. So, which of these topics did you want to talk about? God not or being evil, or God not existing?
Let's go with God is evil.
Okay. Do you think that do you believe in objective morals?
To some extent, yeah.
Okay. Do you think?
Is he like unboxing? Are you unboxing like packages right now? I feel like he's doing unboxing videos like in the background. Just multitasking. You know how it goes.
Much faith? You with us?
We can't hear you if you've gone out of your app. There you are.
I'm with you guys. I'm with you guys.
Okay. So, are your objective morals grounded in the Bible?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Is God objectively moral himself?
I would say God is God and He's sovereign. And I don't think He possesses human qualities for us to subject Him to that space.
Can you hear him, Benny?
So I would.
Barely.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Faith.
Can you get a little closer to your mic?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Not really. There's something like weird about your mic.
Yeah, it's like picking up the background noise or something.
Okay. Is it audible now?
Try
Yeah,
it again.
sounds a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah. Like I was saying that God, I believe God is sovereign, and He's not a human, so He doesn't possess human qualities. So I don't want to subject Him to, objective morality. So yeah.
Oh, so God can do things that go against morals, and it's fine.
No, I would say He's sovereign, and He's a just God. He's full of love.
Yeah, you need to get your mic fixed, my friend.
I
Terry, if you're still in here, request up, and I will bring you up. Sorry you got dropped there. Um,
Terry,
yeah, he's gonna have to figure out his mic issue.
Terry, get out, get back up in here. Put that in reverse and get in here, Terry. Have you ever seen that video
I'm sorry, buddy. We just couldn't hear you. No, I haven't seen that.
where
What
they're
is
like,
that from?
it's a guy in like a self-powered wheelchair, and they're like lighting fireworks, and the firework gets lit, and he's like, Terry, put it in reverse. Terry's trying real hard.
Right on, right on. Guys over on YouTube, thank you for being here. Make sure to click that thumbs up button. We have 22 people in there. If we could get all of you to just click that thumbs up, it helps push out the live, and you'll have more people to chat with in the chat, and it just makes for a better experience. So hit that thumbs up, interact with the chat, and there's a little heart over there. If you could just tap on one of those icons a few times every now and again,
Yeah, I do that.
that also helps get more people in here.
I'll do that every once in a while. I think it does help, like bring in people.
No, it definitely does.
Gotta
I've
do
noticed.
something, right?
Yeah. It shows that people are interested in the live, I think, is what it does. She is evil, but she has a wicked sense of humor. Nice.
Okay.
W take?
Judas and John had a love triangle. Okay, yeah, I could see it. What about the boy in the garden? It's more of like a love, like diamond.
Yeah. John, Judas, Jesus, and the
boy.
boy.
Hmm?
Hashtag.
Boom. Spanked. Oh.
Got him.
Otis.
If you are over in YouTube, the only way right now to get on this stream is to come over to TikTok. I am trying to figure out a way to make that better for us, but for now, that is just what we're doing. So it's JA Debates over on TikTok if you'd like to come up over there.
My dog is literally so upset right now that he's not getting attention.
Lilife, are you over the age of 18 and are you a Christian?
Yes, I am a Christian. I am 24.
Right on, right on. Do you think that the Christian God is evil?
Once again, I'm Christian. No, I don't think God is evil.
See, that's where Christians get it wrong. I feel like if Christians were able to say, yeah, God can do some evil, then they might get like a little bit more on track with like the logic of the Bible.
Okay, but what you think is evil that doesn't exist if the standard of goodness doesn't exist with it?
Yeah, it does.
Not really.
Yeah,
Like,
okay, explain. I guess explain. What do you
even
think?
like the biblical like word
It's
of like
nothing biblical.
definition is.
How do you have something that's evil if you don't have the standard of what's good?
Oh, I have a standard of what's good, and you know what that standard is?
Then you have love. You have the opposite.
I do have love. It's a chemical process that happens in my brain.
God is an evil.
God does evil shit, so he's evil. Well, do you think that unaliving infants is ever a good thing?
Depends.
Oh, so sometimes it's good to
Christians
unalive
to just say, yeah,
all the time.
Oh, that's not true. Those aren't infants. But that's besides the point. Why are you deflecting? So you think sometimes it's good to unalive infants?
Like I said, it truly depends.
Okay, so sometimes I just want everybody to realize Low Life thinks sometimes it's good to unalive infants. Can you give me for instance when it's good to unalive an infant?
Yeah, under the cause of raping somebody's daughter and forcing them to keep it. That's pretty.
That's not an infant.
Pretty good justification.
That's not an infant. Do you know the difference between a fetus and an infant?
Forcing that child to have that infant is pretty good justification for not having an infant.
No, that's not an infant. If you have low life, you're gonna have to quit for a second. That is not answering the question because you are conflating a fetus with an infant. An infant is outside of the womb. A fetus is inside of the womb. So you're talking about an abortion. You're talking about unaliving a fetus. I'm talking about unaliving an infant, a baby that has already been born and is out of the womb. Is there ever a time where that is a good thing?
Yeah, if that person ends up becoming a really bad person, like the H guy, I mean, I would think that's pretty justificational.
Okay.
I would justify unaliving baby H.
Okay, so infants are okay to unalive if they're going to potentially
You're the one who's
do something.
going on with these hypotheticals. I don't know what your point is. Like, what is this boiling down to?
We're getting ready to read your Bible, is what the point is. So I want to nail down exactly what you think.
That pivoted so hard, okay?
Your answer
not a pivot.
Hey,
you could have been like, hey, you know, in a time of war, or say God screwed up so bad the whole world that he needed to flood it all, you know, and you could just unalive all the infants that are, you know, just wipe out everything except for like a few animals and maybe like one family on a boat. Like there's times in the Bible that you know God has actually done these things.
Yeah, I mean, well, God killed babies. God wiped out the world. Do you know why God wiped out the world? Because the world was very sinful, so he calls a flood. And here again, we have another statement in question. People saying, why doesn't
sinful?
Yeah, people saying, why doesn't God stop all evil? If he does stop all evil, I can guarantee he's going to start with you guys. It's more of a question. Do you want to lead yes or no?
Low life. So I'm going to read you your Bible now instead of you sitting up here crashing out and preaching. So I'm going to read you your Bible. In 1 Samuel 15, shut up so I can read. Samuel said to Saul, "The Lord sent me to anoint you king over his people Israel. Now therefore listen to the words of the Lord. Thus says the Lord of hosts, I will punish the Amalekites for what they did in opposing the Israelites when they came up out of Egypt. Now go and attack Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have. Do not spare them, but kill both man, woman, child, and infant." Is it good to... So this was a good thing that God said specifically to go kill infants?
So I guess we just pivoted to the second verse. I guess I won that first verse, right? I won the flood. I mean, we're already on another one, so... But yeah, about the Amalekites, excuse me. What about them?
Yeah, so is it good that God said to kill their infants for something their ancestors did 400 years prior?
This is a very compelling question, especially coming from the perspective of a skeptic that presumes that there really is no God, and that's trying to make Christians
low life. Answer the fucking question and quit obfuscating. Quit obfuscating and answer the question. Is this a good thing that God said to kill infants for something their ancestors said 400 years ago?
No, I just don't believe that you're like an actual Christian. Because like I think if you were fully like in your faith, then you would be fine with saying, yeah, that's good. My God did that. I love that.
I already said, yeah, so what?
You did not just say that. You were like going off on, well, a skeptic would rather, it's an interesting take from a skeptic.
Yeah,
that presumes that there is no God, that presumes that this never even happened, that's trying to make Christians look like wacko. Yeah, it's very interesting.
You're saying
yeah, but this is the book you derive your low life. This is the book you derive your morals from. And what I'm trying to understand is how you get to a point where killing infants for something their ancestors 4 years ago did is justice, is right, is moral. How do you get there?
The same way in the when a judge in the court of law sends any schmurder to prison, that judge is doing a good thing because that criminal is going to get what they deserve.
Okay, so these infants...
Can I answer your question or not?
Well, no, so because you're talking about something else. You aren't answering my question. No, this is why you can't, low life. You won't answer my actual question. You're talking about a murderer being sentenced for what a murderer did. I'm talking about infants.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
No, we're talking about... We are talking about infants being punished for something that their ancestors did. We're not talking about a murderer going to jail for murdering.
First of all, we're talking about the Amalekites, the flood.
Yep.
And now we're talking about punishment. But
no, we're talking about the Amalekites still, low life. Keep up. Keep up. We're still talking about the Amalekite infants. Okay? I know that's hard for your brain to comprehend. So listen, is it justice to punish the Amalekite infants by death for something their ancestors did 400 years ago?
First of all, point me to such an innocent person right now that's alive. Because
I'm talking about what they're being punished. Low life, you gotta read.
No one's innocent.
I'm talking to you about the scripture and what they're being punished for. They're being punished for what happened 400 years before low life.
Are you saying just like all babies aren't innocent?
All innocent person. Romans 3:23, we have all sinned and the penalty for sin is death, okay? So I don't know what you're trying to...
So you think...
we think you're born inherently good? Yes or no?
I mean...
So would it be better to just...
Doesn't matter.
You just unalive these...
He pivots. It is so funny because this dude pivots. Every question, he pivots, and then he complains because we talk about two different Bible verses. He's just obnoxious on every live he's ever been on.
Yeah, so I didn't understand. So, like, all babies are okay to unalive is what I got from that.
It's okay to unalive all babies according to Low Life. Yeah, I knew, but he was our only guest.
Can I practice? I want to practice like a Christian, like attempting an apologetic on the Amalekites and 1 Samuel 15:3. I would say that, yeah, God and the people of Israel were being, they were inconvenienced greatly once they left Egypt by the Amalekites, and they said, "We're gonna get you." And God like came through on that. God was like, "Yeah, it's
Benny, Seth, shut your mic off, buddy.
why? Why would you do that?"
Low life, you're not coming back up. You can't have an honest discussion.
Wait. Damn it. I have to go find
You ran every which way but answering questions, and then you accused us of pivoting. We literally were talking about the same scripture, and you were like, pivot.
Yeah, you could have just said, like, it's what God wanted, and it was because the Amalekites were mean to the Israelites 400 years earlier, but that doesn't really excuse the babies. But I would just double down and just be like, well, F them kids. Because, like God said, F them kids.
But I need to change my tone. I don't need to change my tone. When people come up here onto my stream and they're obnoxious, I'm going to meet this. That's just how this is going to work.
You didn't say that you said that all babies deserve it.
The other thing is low life is horrible on every live he's on. So I was already not I was already going to be kind of an asshole to him just because he's always an asshole. Tap the screen, guys. We're almost to 20K. Thank you so much. We're at 90 people here on the TikTok. If you disagree with the background, God is evil, or if you believe God exists even, let us know, and you can come up and talk to Benny.
I don't want to do
listen, I don't want to have to reprimand the both of you, but what in the hell are you going live for before they have shared 100 times? How are you going to get Christians in here if we don't feed the algorithm beast? Now listen, you guys, I appreciate the likes. It's important to get to those 10,000 likes. We do appreciate that. But 100 shares, that's not that hard. There is 89 of you in here. Send that out right now to 10 or 12 of your friends, your enemies, and your frenemies. Get those shares up or the comments go off. I'm still in the chat. Just because I'm not sitting up here in a box doesn't mean I'm not watching all you little heathens, okay? Now, go up there and do the heart me. It's one freaking coin. And then go back up there and collect your stupid points, because now we got a point system that we got to play by because TikTok doesn't make us jump through enough hoops.
I did that
and
already.
Then I want you to subscribe to this channel. If you're subscribed to his other channel, cancel that subscription. Subscribe over here. It's less than a cup of coffee a month. You're subscribed to Netflix, Hulu, Paramount Plus, and the Disney Channel, and you haven't had kids in 15 years. You don't even watch the Disney Channel anymore. Cancel that shit. Save yourself some money and subscribe here to J.A. Debates. He brings you some of the top debaters, top creators over here, and then go start some fights with some Christians in some other lives. Tell them that Benny is talking smack about the Christians and get them to come back over here and fight. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, or tell them, like, I'm willing to...
Thank you so much, Crystal. Love you.
I'm willing to take on tag. I'm willing to take the burden for the God does not exist.
Benny is our God does not exist. So if you want to have a nicer conversation, come up and talk about that. That's going to be the probably more pleasant conversation.
I'm willing to debate just about anything, honestly, right now.
Yeah. Over there on the YouTubes, if you disagree, you can come over to TikTok, go to JA Debates, and enter the show over there. Yeah.
And I also am debating, like, body count. Does body count matter? So yeah, like, let us know what your thoughts are.
debate the pastor. The pastor's probably busy right now. I'm not sure. I'd have to send him a message and see. We have 42 people over there in the YouTubes, guys. Thank you to my mods for being there. But if you are over there, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe today. We bring debates every Monday and Thursday, 5:30 to 9:30 Central Time, and we always have different co-hosts. Tonight, I didn't have a co-host. Benny came up for the first hour. Then we'll open it up if somebody else, a friendly, wants to come up and help with the debates. We'll boot Benny's ass out of here and get somebody else up.
You know, I could be the theist because Seth and I did literally go to a Catholic mass yesterday. It was a funeral, but if anybody who is Catholic in here knows, they have the funerals and mass at the same time. And we had to stand, kneel, sit, stand, kneel, sit, stand, pray, shake hands, and hug. Well, you're supposed to just shake hands, but since it was family, we hugged and say, peace be with you and also with you, you know, and all these things.
Matthew, while you're in here, I need to DM you about getting you as a co-host at some point.
Matthew?
Matthew. I need to get Matthew up in here to co-host one night. That would be amazing.
Honestly, Matthew used to be like that guy that you'd be watching, or like you would just see that he would go up on a live and then you'd like tune into that live because you know it's going to go down.
It is. He knows so much. So fucking much. It's crazy.
My dog's crazy.
If you disagree with either of the backgrounds, God is evil or God does not exist, come on up and have a talk with me and Benny here.
Kirk and Scotty? Yeah, just without the icons. You're Scotty, Joyful. I'm Kirk. That fits.
Beam me up, Scotty.
No, you are Scotty. You would say, come on right, that Captain, you know, or something like that.
I'm doing the best I can, Captain.
I'm doing the best I can, Captain.
We need to quit bullying God because God is nice to us, Benny.
P. Mars, what's up? She's not got the power.
If you are over there in TikTok or in the YouTube, just come over to TikTok, go to JA Debates, and you can join the conversation as well. Right now, that is the only way we have a call-in, but unfortunately, the tiny URL thing isn't working for me. I don't know. It will work on my Windows computer, but that's what I'm streaming with. So I can't really do that. It won't work anymore on my Chromebook.
You can make it work by oh, Bright. I don't know if I've actually gotten to talk to Bright yet.
Bright,
yeah.
are you over 18 and are you a Christian?
Yes, I am.
Because you like
have we talked before?
You've opened up like Joel's and Mezzo's lives for the last 3 or 4 shows.
Oh my god!
You're like a thing now. You're like a part of their shows. So
basically. I don't think Mezzo really likes me.
Oh,
I made one joke about gay people, which I will. You want to know what the joke was? It's not homophobic.
No, because I'm a gay guy, so let's not.
No, okay, all right. It wasn't homophobic. I was just saying, like, when I snap my fingers, you won't remember that you're gay, and I think he took a little offense.
Oh,
that's not. I mean,
I do that to my kid that isn't gay. So
yeah.
So do you want to talk about God being evil or God not existing?
God being evil.
All right, right on. Do you think that it's ever a good thing to force women into Do you think it's ever good to capture a woman and then have sex with them and make them your wife?
No.
Okay,
There's never a situation where this could be like a good deal. Like maybe
In 2025, no. That's crazy. Why would you do that?
Just asking.
So there's never a good time. So do you think that it's appalling that your God would give a command that allows for that to be something? He lays out exactly how to capture a woman, bring her home, have sex with her, and make her your wife. But if you weren't pleased when you laid with her, then you could let her go.
You're talking about the Old Testament.
Yep.
Specifically what to do when you have a woman and you capture her and you want to make her your wife. There's actually instructions on how to do this.
Yep.
Now, it's not about...
Can you have sex with a captive and it not be rape?
It's not a captive, though. That's your wife.
No, it's a captive. It says if you notice among the captives a woman that you think is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a captive.
And what does it say to do with her?
It says to take her to your house, cut off her nails and hair, take off her clothes she was wearing when she was captured, and let her mourn her parents for 30 days, but then you may go into her.
Into marrying her, right?
No, that's having sex. And then she will be your wife once you have sex.
No, you can't have sex with someone who's not your wife.
That's not true. That's how you became husband and wife back then.
Back then? What? No.
Yes.
That was legalized,
absolutely.
Right? But hold on, let me see. What numbers is this?
This is Deuteronomy 21:10 through 14. And the reason we know it's about having sex with her, it says if you are not satisfied with her, then let her go free, and certainly not sell her for money. You must not treat her as a slave, since you have dishonored her. You took her virginity.
Yeah, so that's the big thing. So these, first off, like there's another, I can't remember what verse it is, that it says like, of among the spoils of war,
Numbers 31.
Is it, yeah, Numbers 31, and then but it's like, but you can keep the girls that have not who have not seen a man. So these are the virgins that they're talking about, and they're saying that you can do that and go into them either as like a concubine, or you could marry them, or you could get rid of them after, but they cannot be married because they have had their purity taken away.
So I think the biggest focus is your focus on to go into her. Is that what the big problem is?
Yeah, having sex with a captive.
Well, and they mention later on, like if you give her away, she cannot be married because she's no longer a virgin. So it's grape. So let's just see. Okay, so we have girls that are virgins that aren't consenting to be prisoners of war, that are being taken in by people who choose them if they think they're pretty, and then they shave their head, pare their nails, let them mourn their parents for a month, and then they say, I'm going to, do it with you. And I don't think that they get to say no. They just got to go with it. And then after that, if they're like, I don't want to keep you around anymore, you can go. Then they are just, they're able to be freed, but now they can't be married because they're not pure.
So when it comes to this law, the thing you have to understand is the reason why God says you have to shave and trim their nails is it's necessarily a way to kind of battle lust.
No, that's not true at all.
It's a way of
to shame them.
Yeah, and to to make them shed their old self. You know, like you're shaving off your hair. It's a new world now because you got no hair and you got clean nails and
Right. You're right. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like a ritual purification, right? To sort of like get them started like brand new.
I would say it's like
And
I don't know, kind of akin to it dehumanizes them, like what like the army does. It makes them feel less about themselves. Like it takes away like things that they may have used to identify themselves more. So then it makes them
well,
like more of a blank template.
Shaving hair in Judaism was kind of seen as a
Oh,
way
and the
of
nails
like
is so they can't fight back.
what? No.
Well, why
I
wouldn't
think
they? If they have nails, they can scratch you with their nails. Yeah, so paring their nails down would mean that they can't fight back.
not cutting, it's
I mean,
trimming. That's a big difference.
we could probably unpack the whole shaving of the heads and paring of the nails for a lot of things. Like, there's a lot that goes in there. Like, it could represent shaming them by making them more manly looking or something, or maybe it's a way to show your property.
Are you talking about nails?
Regardless of what that's for, can a captured woman consent to sex?
Yes.
Okay, you're gross.
What?
Okay, well, we know that he's fine with rape. There we go. I think that was simple enough. There's no point in a further discussion.
Mezzo was just messaging me, just saying, "Oh my god, I hate this guy." But no, he actually wasn't.
Yes, great.
Sorry. I'm not gonna put Mezzo out like that. But I'm sure Mezzo loves him.
That guy. You can capture women and it's still consent.
I guess
amazing.
I've heard those like what Crystal was saying in the chat, and that makes a lot of sense with the nails, and the dehumanizing is definitely there. Like that's what they do like when you go in the army to like make you feel like less of a individual, you know.
Yeah, he said it kind of giddy, Seth. Yeah, it was gross. Yeah, I mean, when people will just come up here and be a POSFF, we're just going to get rid of you and probably make a clip of it later and say, this is what Christianity does to you, kids. Makes you a sick fuck.
Yeah, I would like any of the like a good Christian, like somebody who actually views themselves as like a good Christian to come up and explain to us why God is not evil. Because I don't think that you could be a good Christian, good as in like a Christian that follows all of the Christian doctrine, and then say that God is not evil. I think you would have to make the like Calvinist kind of concession that God is evil, and that's just okay.
True. We need a green-shirted other co-host.
Hello?
Hello, are you over 18?
Yes, sir.
Right on. What do we need to repent of?
Well, as I can see, you say that God is evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to tell you that he's not, and to repent, because I feel that he's someone who's very loving, very unconditionally, and I feel that his intent of his rules and commandments are not to really harm anyone, but just for the ultimate protection for humanity.
Okay, so when he told the Israelites to kill infants, that was for the protection of humanity?
No, nothing like that. It's just, okay, so y'all have heard of, the story within God to where he created the heavens and the earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's in
Genesis 1:1.
Take a Genesis 101.
Yeah, Genesis. Genesis is basically the opening introduction of how God was the creator of the heavens and the earth and how he created everything to be to his plan, right?
Oh, that's why they call it Genesis.
Yeah, Genesis means the beginning, right? So, and then you know about the story of Adam and Eve, right?
Yep.
So
Adam and I've heard of Adam and Steve, like as a joke, but I don't know what Adam and Eve means.
It's not Adam and Steve, but basically the story. You know how they say that he was, Adam and Eve were the first to sin, and because they ate the forbidden fruit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, everything about the first sin does not start with Adam and Eve. In the Bible, it states that in the beginning, with God creating the heavens and earth, in heaven there was 3 archangels, who was Lucifer, Michael, and Gabriel. Gabriel was the angel of messages, and
wait, was Gabriel a boy angel or a girl angel? Because I only asked this because in that have you ever watched that movie Constantine?
I haven't heard about it, but I'll be looking forward to seeing it.
In that one, Tilda Swinton plays Gabriel, and Tilda Swinton is a woman.
Gotcha.
Andre, where in the Bible is this located where it tells the story?
You can go in the book of Ezekiel. You can go in the book of Isaiah.
Where it tells you this story you're telling? Because I can tell you right now, this story is not in the Bible.
That
of the archangels?
What now? Of the archangels?
Yeah, and one of them, the way you're telling it is something that's just made up.
No, it's not made up. This is the truth.
Okay, where in the Bible can I find this story you're telling?
I'm gonna find it right now.
Isn't it in Enoch?
Enoch?
That's not in the Bible though. Enoch is an apocryphal book, or in like a pseudepigraphal.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. It's
because doesn't Enoch turn into the Archangel Michael or something? Or they say that?
I think he does think Enoch's in the Bible. And I think he's referring to where it talks about Lucifer in Ezekiel, but that's just about a king. Nothing to do with an actual
the morning star thing.
Yeah, the morning star.
About the king of Babylon, the star of the morning. Andre, we can't.
I think he's.
You not hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Okay, so just doing some
Enoch becomes Metatron. Thank you, Uja. I appreciate you.
So it's on Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12.
Okay. What does it say?
Isaiah 13's been coming up a lot lately.
Isaiah 14.
Oh, 14?
Yeah, it's not Ezekiel 14. I said Ezekiel earlier. It's Isaiah 14. Let me...
14:12?
Yeah, we can't hear you when you're outside the app, so give me 1 second. I'm pulling it up. Give me 1 second.
What's the verse again? The actual verse number?
It's Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12.
14:12. His disciples came and took the body and buried it. Wait, that's Matthew. What?
I have a Bible right here. I can read.
Okay. So what does it say that? So let's go back to verse 4. Who is this a taunt against? Who are they talking about here?
They're talking about So you said in 4 or 12, because 12 I got that.
In verse 4 it says, "You will take up this taunt against the king of Babylon." That's what the Lord says.
Oh, it's not talking about Lucifer. It's a whole different topic.
Yep.
Right. So in Isaiah chapter 14, verses 12, it says, How you have fallen from heaven, morning star, son of dawn, which is referred to as Lucifer, because in the story in the Bible, because in the story in the Bible, it tells you that Lucifer. Okay, so give you a background. Lucifer was the angel of music, right? Because that's what I was trying to tell you. That Michael was the angel of warfare. Gabriel was the angel of messages, and Lucifer was the angel of worship.
Okay, show me where that's in the Bible. You
Gotcha.
said that last time. That's what you're supposed to be showing me. Where is that in the Bible?
So Lucifer doesn't come into like play until the King James version.
Yeah.
It's uses Morning Star as a taunt against the king of Babylon by saying, you know, "O shining one, O son of dawn, Hallel ben Shakar," to like talk about he's so prideful and everything. Look at how much you have fallen.
Yep.
Like from heaven.
This is all a taunt to the king of Babylon.
Yeah, okay.
This isn't about a Satan figure at all. This is all about the king of Babylon.
Okay. So on Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 13, it says, You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone adorn you, carnelian, crystallite, and emerald, topaz, onyx, and jasper, lapis, lazuli, turquoise, and beryl. He was the most beautiful angel created by God. He was made of stones and instruments. Right?
Okay.
So one day he got a glimpse of his beauty, and that's where the first sin was created, which was pride. So his objective was, since he was the most beautiful angel created, that he felt that he was in the same level of our creator, who is God, and thought that he could be a creator as well, and just try to really basically kick out his creator from which
Where does it say that in the Bible?
Gotcha.
I can hear. Let me read a little bit here. So I'll start at the lamentation over the king of Tyre. Okay, so moreover, the world, the Lord came to me, mortal, raise a lamentation over the king of Tyre, and say to him, you were the signet of say, thus says the Lord God, you were the signet of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was your covering, carnelian, chrysolite, and moonstone, beryl, onyx, and jasper, sapphire, turquoise, and emerald. And worked in gold were your settings and your engravings. On the day that you were created, they were prepared. And with an anointed cherub as guardian I placed you. You were on the holy mountain of God. You walked among the stones of fire. You were blameless in your ways from the day that you were created, until iniquity was found in you. In the abundance of your trade, you were filled with violence and you sinned. So this is just God
about the king of Tyre,
talking about the king of Tyre, and like using very beautiful gemstone-ridden language.
Yeah. Okay.
It
so
literally
then
tells you what he's talking about at the beginning of both of these things.
Right. But I'm going to make sure that everything makes sense of the scriptures and the verses I'm giving y'all, just to make this to where it makes total sense. So we go to Revelation, where in chapter verse 7 and 17, this gives you more information.
What about chapter?
Revelations chapter 12, verse 7 and 17. Well, 7 through 17, excuse me.
Where Michael defeats the dragon?
The dragon refers to as Lucifer, who is now going to be eventually leaning to being Satan. Where it says on verse 7, then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled, to the earth, and his angels with him. Then I heard a loud voice in heaven say, now have come the salvation and the kingdom of our God, and the power, and the kingdom of our God, and the authority of his Messiah. For the accuser of our brothers and sisters, who accuses them before our God day and night, has been hurled down. They triumphed over him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony.
Andre, I'm just going to stop you for a second. You do realize this is talking about Christians already being on earth, because he's the accuser of the brethren. This is talking about what happens later. This isn't like something that happened anciently. This is
This
about
isn't.
what's going to happen later. Because the accuser goes before the throne of God even now. You do understand that. It's said several times in the Bible that he goes up to the throne room of God. Even in the book of Job, it literally says he's in the throne room of God and he's the accuser. So humans are already on earth before all of these events happen. So this does not point to some sort of ancient thing that happened in the first sin.
This is ancient because of the simple fact that this is not of the world. This is outside of the world.
Who
So
was
this
he?
happened.
Okay, so what brothers and sisters was he accusing
The
before the
angels.
world?
The angels.
So there's male and female angels?
Yes, because it said then war broke out in heaven. Michael's and his angels fought against the dragon. The dragon in reference is Satan, is Lucifer.
Okay.
Then it said, and the dragon and his angels fought back, meaning that Lucifer had gathered a bunch of angels to rebel against God.
Okay. Yes, but this all happens after he's in the throne room of God. He's hurled to the earth, but we know that he's in the throne room of God after this point, right?
Mind you, and by the way, mind you, this is not like on earth. This is from like outside of this world. This is from the spiritual realm.
No, I understand that, but if he was hurled to the earth, okay, how could he later be in the throne room of God for Job to happen?
Because he's already is Satan. He's Lucifer when all of this is happening. He have yet to be placed down and casted out of heaven, which will later he will be put down to hell.
That's not at all what I asked. What I asked is how later, after he's cast down to the earth in the very beginning for the first sin, like you're saying, how is he later for the book of Job up in the throne room of God being the accuser again?
Because he had to gain permission from God to tempt Job with everything that was finna happen. You know, him losing his children, him losing his money, him losing his animals, everything and above.
Okay. I don't think you're understanding. So he can transport from earth to heaven whenever he wants?
He can gain permission, but he's not in full authority of what happens.
That's not what I asked. Can he transport to the throne room of God whenever he wants?
Yes.
Okay, then what was the point in throwing him to the earth if he can just come right back?
He's a fallen angel.
Okay. Okay, so I don't think we're gonna get anywhere on that. Okay,
but,
so
but the point that I came up here is to just showcase analogies that can at least make sense as to why the statement that God is evil is not true.
He told people to kill infants. I would say that's evil. Do you not think that's evil?
Yeah, did God
not? It was never his intentions, but that's what I was trying to mention, the Garden of Eden and Adam and Eve. This will make sense.
No, Andre, it doesn't. Taking revenge on somebody by killing infants is never a good thing, I would say.
What I'm trying to tell you is
what you're saying right now is it is a good thing.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm trying
to. So God said to do something bad?
His intentions is never to hurt or to harm anything on purpose.
No, he literally said to. In 1 Samuel 15, it says, Samuel said to Saul, "The Lord sent me to anoint you king over his people Israel. Now therefore listen to the words of the Lord. Thus says the Lord of hosts, I will punish the Amalekites for what they did in opposing the Israelites when they came up out of Egypt, 400 years prior. Now go and attack Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have. Do not spare them, but kill man, woman, child, and infant." So God is intending for these people to die, and we know this because they get in trouble. Saul gets in trouble for keeping one of them alive.
Them children getting killed was consequences of the sins that have been first committed ever since the beginning of time, which has started with the first sins of human
No,
mankind
those
with the
infants
Garden
were
of Eden.
killed. Andre,
Can I
those
explain? Can I explain?
those
Can I explain?
hold on. No, because you just keep going back to original
No,
sin, and
because I'm
that does
trying to
not
get it
fix
to what.
this. God commanding them to be killed is what got them killed, right?
But I'm trying to get you to a
Is
place where you
what?
can understand that it is not okay, but for it to have a full comprehension as to why it happened.
No, I understand why it happened. What I'm saying is it ever okay?
It's never okay. Okay,
Then
like
God said to do
cancer
something
and
bad.
committing murder, God does not intend for that to happen. He didn't want that to happen.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't want that to happen.
If he didn't
What
want
I'm
that to happen, it
okay,
wouldn't have
so
happened.
like I'm
He
trying to say, from the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, when he told them, you can eat from any fruit that I prepare for you, but just don't eat for the forbidden fruit. Meaning
mm,
that's not a fruit or a tree that you should be eating from. That was an order. That was a commandment, right?
yep. Mm-hmm.
And Lucifer, that came as a serpent, tricked Eve into eating that fruit.
Who created that serpent?
Lucifer entered his spirit into that serpent.
So who
Okay.
created Lucifer?
God. God was a angel.
Did God know what he was going to do before he did it?
No. He
Oh,
knew
so
what
God.
he knew that Lucifer was going to commit all of these sins when he was in
Mm-hmm.
heaven, which is why the reason why
So
when you
he
sin
chose
against him, that's the reason why he had to be
Andre.
cast down from heaven.
Andre, hold on. So if he knew what Lucifer was going to do, he decided to create him. Then God decided for everything that happened since then that's evil to happen. Because he had a choice to make Lucifer or not to, knowing what he would do, and he chose to create him.
But that was up to Lucifer for his actions. Lucifer's own actions is what got him casted
Did
down from heaven.
so did God know what Lucifer was going to do before he created Lucifer?
Yes, because he's an omniscient entity. He knows the past,
Yeah.
the present, and the future.
So he knew what Lucifer would do, and then he still decided to create him. So he chose all of this.
Yeah,
But once you're created, it's onto your own actions whether or not you do something right and you do something wrong. That's just the truth.
But God already knew he was going to do it and made a conscious choice to do it anyway.
Right. But then it's still up to us whether or not we make right decisions or wrong decisions.
Then how
Well,
does
not here because God tells them to kill the infant, so it wasn't up to them. God wanted the infants killed.
Okay, let's just say that so that I can have you to get a full understanding, because what I'm seeing what you're doing right now is you're trying to use that only example to prove that he's evil when there's
Oh no,
steps
I have a
as to
million
what led to
examples.
that happening.
Did you know that David, when he slept with Bathsheba, did you know that God had all 10 of his wives raped? Why were 10 women raped? Because David sinned.
Bro, you're not at least getting me to give you the full comprehension of sin. And I'm trying to explain to
No,
you
I
at the
understand
beginning of
sin.
time, but I just want to complete this so that you can fully understand
Okay, go
what is going
ahead.
on.
I'm going to give you a full minute to just go uninterrupted, and
I'll set a timer.
we'll listen. Yeah, set a timer.
So as what I was, explaining, we know with Adam and Eve eating from the forbidden fruit and them being.
He only got 2 seconds.
Oh man, that sucked.
Much faith.
I don't know what happened. Much faith. Are you a Christian? Or yes, we already talked to you a little bit earlier. Did you get your mic fixed?
I don't know if you do you have like a different mic and it's like in your pocket? Like, because it was sounding like you were really far from the mic, but you could hear us very well. So it made me think like you had headphones in, but like the mic was set to the wrong thing. Like maybe it was like set to your phone, which was in your pocket when it should have been set to your microphone. Just spitballing here, though.
Yeah, he's gonna have to do something different with that mic. Something's going on. No, he was.
Mars, come up. Let's hear what you've been working on.
Yeah, come talk to Benny about God not existing. He said he was looking for a tag argument tonight.
Yeah,
if you'd like to come up and run tag with him,
I'll even take the burden.
I will just sit back and be nice and listen. Crystal might kick you, but oh yeah, I forgot about that. Never mind, he can't come up.
Oh yeah, okay, fine.
I forgot.
Don't want a platform.
Hi, Cat.
Hey, Cat. No beating. Oh, I was about to read that sentence. Hey, Cedar.
Well. I hacked Cyber's account. This is Cyber Reconstruction. Just if you didn't know.
Are you a reconstructor now?
I'm reconstructed. So how do you guys ground your knowledge?
I ground my knowledge in an atheistic, like naturalistic world.
Yeah. So all I heard from that is you can't know anything, you heathen.
True.
But I do. I mean, like, based off of ourselves, like being part of the universe, observing the universe, we are able to rationalize through like the scientific method, among other things.
Yeah. So how do you know the scientific method even works? How do you know that?
It's repeatable.
How do you know it's repeatable though? Like, how do you know though the information you're getting is true?
Well, we don't have any like. We don't know anything. Really.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because you're an atheist. Yeah, of course you don't know anything. I'm glad you conceded.
Damn it. I was trying to say that in like quantum mechanics, you don't technically know. It's just a very high probability.
Well, how do you know quantum mechanics even works? Because you're just a heathen. You don't know nothing.
I guess I don't know nothing.
All right, we'll give Joyful a try.
I didn't mean to do that, Carrie.
Cyber Reconstruction, 0 Benny Boy.
Damn, I got cooked. This is how I probably have worked with P Mars.
Jaren's currently in my mom's basement right now eating sandwiches too, just so you know.
Nice. Well, Cyber, I'm gonna drop you down.
Yep, not a problem.
If you disagree with the background, go ahead and just come up here and talk to us. Me and Betty are looking for a good debate. If you're over on the YouTubes, you will have to come to the TikTok to debate with us. It is JA Debates over on TikTok.
Or discussion. Come on over. We can have like a very lighthearted, silly Billy discussion on how silly Christianity is.
Silly.
It's so silly.
It is silly.
It's so silly.
It's real silly.
His.
Are you a Christian and are you over 18?
Yes, I am 27 years old. Been saved for 4 years. Used to be a part of the LGBTQ community for over a decade.
Used to?
Yes. Nice. As of May 8th, 2021, I changed my life. Turned it over to Christ.
So are you just like, you're just asexual now, or?
No, I am heterosexual. I was battling bisexualism. I repented of those sins. I repented of my substance abuse. I repented of the horrible treatment I caused on other people with my actions and words, and the things I've done behind closed doors.
So do you not find males attractive anymore at all?
You don't find, like, not even slightly?
Yes. So with every individual, so I do have a few friends that do come from the same past. With it's different with certain individuals because not everybody's the same. Number one. So now, I've witnessed people that have been completely delivered from such desires because James says, everyone is enticed and lured by their own desire of their heart. So I was definitely, battling that temptation within the beginning of my walk because, God accepts you as you are. You don't clean yourself up beforehand.
So you're saying that this is a choice that was made?
I mean, absolutely.
I don't see it ever being a choice or a temptation or a desire. It's just nature, right? It's just within my nature to like other boys.
Now I have two things to say to that. One, everything is permissible. I'll give you that, but not everything's beneficial. Number two, we see that
beneficial is a subjective term.
That nothing can come from homosexuality or lesbianism.
That's not true.
Can I please finish?
Because if you say something stupid like that, I'm going to call you out. So
don't call me stupid. I'd like to tell you.
I said you said something stupid, so I'm going to call it out.
Before calling it stupid, may I please explain?
Because
Let's hear it out.
Hold on. Things do come from lesbian and homosexual relationships. Just because you think that it's bad doesn't mean that you can just denigrate the whole thing because Sky Daddy told you it's bad.
I'm not trying to even belittle, the queer community either. I'm called to love other people. So I'll respectfully take
with what you were going to say.
So with what I was trying to get at is you see that there's a divine setup biologically, genetically, physically.
Okay.
The difference between man and woman. Heterosexualism is a necessity to procreating life. Homosexuality.
Are you saying?
Incorrect again.
Since I like other men, that there's no way for me to impregnate another woman.
So if you were gifted, right, because you didn't choose the gender you were born with, you didn't even choose to be born. So if you were gifted with, let's say, the male makeup and the biological means to be a father, be a husband, procreate life, right? You have sperm. Why would you think that's some sort of mistake?
Nobody thinks that's a mistake. That's nonsense.
So it's just useless to have that because you want to...
No, it's not useless to have that. I'm just saying, why...
This guy is clueless.
Why does it have to be like one male or just one male cis male and one cis female? It couldn't be just somebody with a womb and somebody with that could produce sperm.
What do you mean?
Do they have to have feelings for each other to reproduce? Do you know how ducks?
Yeah,
ducks reproduce?
All right. Let me ask you a question just really quick.
No.
I'm going to ask you a question really quick. I'm going to ask you a question to go with your logic. Is it wrong for a man...
Hold up.
I'm going to ask you a goddamn question. Shut up and let me ask it.
Please don't talk to me that way, sir.
I will. If you keep interrupting, I'm going to get ruder, I swear.
You treat people that way. You only hurt yourself. I just want you to know that.
Okay, obviously I'm hurting your little feelings. So are you going to cry or engage in a conversation?
Horribly, and I understand it.
Are you going to cry or are you going to engage in a conversation? I'm going to
extend grace and say, if you need a helping hand or a friend, I'm here for you.
Look at this guy. All right, so I'm going to ask you the question now. Do you have the patience of the Holy Spirit to wait?
I'm here, aren't I?
Okay. So is it wrong of a man that has the capability to reproduce, like he has sperm, everything, to marry a woman that does not have the capability to reproduce?
So what you're asking in simpler terms, should a man love another woman because she can't give him a child? Are you that sick in the head?
Well, what you just said was that's why it's wrong to be homosexual, and it's obvious. So you have to extend the same thing to heterosexuality. If relationships is for procreation and heterosexual relationships are the right ones because of procreation, then you have to stick with, if you know that you can have kids and this woman cannot, it would not be morally good for you to marry that woman.
So
it also implies that women are only good.
Yeah, hold up, Benny.
Yeah, I know it's very misogynistic as well.
I know you guys do this tactically, but please, if we could keep some order. When you look at that, these poor women that unfortunately are falling to infertility, right? That's basically a slap in the face to them, and you just said that they're not, good enough. And
you're saying
you're saying they're not good enough.
No,
by your logic, I'm stopping you again because you're making claims about me and Benny that are not true. I will sit here and keep muting you. I have a mute button, you don't. So here's the deal: you said that heterosexual relationships are the correct way because of procreation. If a man, and it is wrong to be homosexual for that reason, and it's obvious because you can't procreate. But what I said in regards to that, if that is true, you have to extend that to heterosexual relationships as well. That it's not good to be in a relationship that you can't procreate if you have the ability to do so. You can't have it one way and not the other. I know Christians have a hard time with hypocrisy, but here we aren't going to do that. You're going to have to stay in line with your argument. You can't just run and try to deflect. What you have to do is actually engage with your actual argument, as I am trying to do.
I'm trying to, but you keep muting me.
You know that in this like hypothetical world where only like men that are with men and women are with women, there is still the ability to reproduce.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is. Do you need to like love each other or be attracted to each other in order to get somebody pregnant?
You get host eyes, bro. Are you okay?
What?
Are you genuinely okay? Like, look at your eyes, bro. There's some like twisted thing behind that, bro.
No, I'm looking at you. I'm looking like this because everything you say is just idiotic.
I haven't been able to get a word out.
I'm asking you a question.
Words in my mouth. Can I bring a rebuttal?
You said that.
You need to like.
You're saying I'm deflecting, but I can't even get a word out, guys.
You're deflecting. You're definitely deflecting.
Then please don't mute me.
Nobody's muting you.
Now you're gonna gaslight. So what I was saying.
Oh my gosh!
And now he's cutting you off. He is just like, this dude came here to cry. That's all he came here for.
You think two people need to love each other in order to have a baby, to get them to get a woman pregnant? Do they have to love each other?
So love is an action, not a feeling, right? When we look, I'm trying to get back to our original argument so we don't stray. Like you said,
the answer is no, they don't.
When we see you cannot biologically say, you as a female, let's say you're born a female, you can never once in your life confidently say that you can impregnate another woman. Because why? You're a woman.
She could certainly ask a man, any man that is around, or male.
X and Y chromatic makeup are different from a male. Your pelvic bone is different from a male.
That doesn't matter.
This guy is so dumb.
Still make it work.
And they call me dumb when I'm just saying simple science.
No,
I'm telling you that
what you're saying is so idiotic and juvenile.
And this is their rebuttal. They just call you stupid names.
No, it's because you keep saying stupid things. So listen,
I know couples,
grown men treating people like this. Grown men acting like children. Grown men acting like children. That's
God is not same-sex couples that have had kids.
God is evil.
How?
Yeah, adoption.
No.
IVF.
No, they told their friend to.
Wow,
old school.
Men cannot be pregnant. Congratulations, you just proved yourself wrong.
Nobody said that. About? He is the dumbest person I've ever had on this live. I swear. He can't comprehend a single thing being said. Oh my god! I cannot handle people like him. I cannot handle people like him.
It sounds weird, but yes, you can, for the utility of it, reproduce. You don't have to love each other. You don't have to be married. You don't have to even do it physically. You could do it in vitro.
What's crazy to me is you want to bring up natural and why it's good. I bring up how you have to base that on your own thing, and he's like, you're picking on women that can't. No, I'm saying that if you're saying that the only utility of sex is for procreation, then it would entail exactly what I was saying. And not only that, then you have to explain to me the prostate. Why would God put the prostate in the male's asshole if we're all perfectly designed for sex just how we are heterosexual? That doesn't even make sense. Doesn't
Yeah,
even
and
make sense.
you're bi, okay?
He
You're bi,
was looking into my eyes, and then he started deflecting about that
get
too.
with it. I mean, just like accept it. You don't have to go for men. If you like women too, then sure, just focus on just the women.
This guy.
But don't deny something a part of yourself.
I do not doubt that he has got that duped in Christianity that quickly. I do not doubt it after talking to him. He definitely got duped. Just absolute horrible talking points.
Did I do that? Okay. Yeah, if anybody else wants to come up and talk about how apparently lesbian and men that are in relationships with men can't reproduce, even though if a womb and a scrotum that has the tools exist on an earth, then you can reproduce. All right, you don't have to like it. But have you seen ducks reproduce? It's not pretty.
Yeah, it's
honestly sex.
I'm bringing you back up, but I'm telling you this right now. If you do not stay on task with the actual conversation, I will remove you.
I tried to once already and I was removed, so we can try it again.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. Okay?
Are you going to take it seriously this time?
Yes, I am.
Look at the score difference, guys. 102 to 0 for nothing, right?
What? What are you even talking about, dude? And I'm trying to ask the question and you talked over me. Again, immediately. You come up here and then you talk over me and then you cry that we were being mean to you. So are you going to let me actually ask the question or are you going to interrupt again?
I think I'm just waiting for you to speak your mind.
Okay, so don't interrupt again.
So I'm the only one that can act and listen.
You just did it again. I went to talk and you talked. Okay, I'm going to ask the question. Do you think that it is possible that a homosexual man and a homosexual woman can have a baby together? Yes or no?
A homosexual male and a homosexual female?
Well, can they have a baby together?
Well, you see, right? Because homosexuality is a desire. So even if a male were to be attracted to another male, he can still
That's not what I asked. I asked you a yes or no question.
Yeah, can well, it's not a yes or no answer.
Yes, it is. No, can a homosexual male and a homosexual female have a child together? It's an easy yes or no. Benny, I'll ask you. I'll ask Benny, and we'll see if it's easy for him to answer. Benny, is it possible for a homosexual male and a homosexual female to have a baby together?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Now it's your turn. It was that simple. Yes or no?
Yeah, you know why? Because it's a male and a female, not a male and a male. Or
See, it does not matter. They can still have babies even though they're homosexual. Isn't that crazy how that works?
Yeah, because it's an evil desire, right? It completely
No, it's not.
It's, you see, you just affirmed it right there. It contradicts what they're actually able to do.
No, what is your prostate?
It's your own belief.
What is your prostate?
You just
you know what a prostate is?
Now you want to... Ew, bro, I'm recording this, dude. You want to talk about my prostate? Get the hell away.
I asked if you knew what a prostate was. I never said anything about yours. Look, he comes... Hold on. No, look at this idiot. He came up here, asked me if I was going to be serious this time, and then he goes on another tangent about how I'm saying things I don't say. And he... Are you going to engage or not?
I think he likes you.
I think so too. I think that he's into me, and I get it. I get it. I'm a good looking fella, but I'm
I'm
actually
ugly.
married to a woman, so I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sorry for your wife that she
That's
doesn't
fine.
know about this.
He's not denying it.
No, she does know that I am bisexual.
So again, you just contradicted your own belief, right?
No.
What belief?
You're trying to say that, homosexuals and a lesbian, a male is a homosexual.
Do you know what a prostate is? Are you going to answer my question?
Yeah, I'll get to that in a moment. Do you have patience?
No, you're going to get to it now because I am the host and I asked you a question. Do you know what a prostate is? Yes or no?
Is this how you treat your wife?
No, actually, I treat her very nicely. I'm sure you treat your wife like shit because you are.
I'm not married.
Obviously, don't know much about sex, so I feel bad for her.
No, I was guessing that.
Yeah. So do you know what a prostate is?
Yeah, I'll get to that in a moment. Actually, I don't even know if I want to discuss about buttholes with a grown man.
Do you know what a prostate is? We're going to talk about the natural body because you brought it up. We're going to talk about the natural body and how God made it. Do you know what a prostate is?
Yeah, so I'll get to that in a moment.
You're going to answer it. I'm going to keep asking till you answer it. Do you know what a prostate is?
Why would God put it where he did?
I'm glad this is being recorded, bro.
That is fine. Put it on the internet. I'm going to clip this too.
I will.
This is on YouTube forever. This will be on YouTube forever.
That's perfect, bro.
So why did God put the prostate in the rectum?
So, like I said again, all things are permissible. Not everything's beneficial.
I don't care. Your God created the prostate inside the male rectum. Why is that?
If you're not aware, the prostate isn't in the rectum. It's an organ within your stomach, number one.
Okay, how do you get to it?
Yeah.
How do you get to it? Well, one, you're not supposed to go inside
to stimulate it. How do you stimulate your prostate?
Why are there nerve endings for it that bring pleasure?
That brings sexual pleasure. Why?
We have nerves on our fingers. We have nerves in our
Not
face.
that brings sexual pleasure. Tell me why the prostate is the male G-spot and it's in your rectum.
Our prostate is a prostate that holds semen and sperm.
Why is your prostate, which is the G-spot for the male, in the rectum? Why would God do that if he didn't want men to have sex?
Butthole doesn't mean it's okay.
All I'm saying is you brought up God made people a certain way for sex. So now I'm using that same logic, and you can't explain it. Hold on, you can't explain it, and that's why you're deflecting again. Tell me why you think God put the only way to get to the male G-spot in the rectum.
What do you mean the only way to get to the male G-spot?
Mm-hmm.
This is where we out of. Number one, I need you to listen to me.
This guy is just dense. I believe
he's never had a partner.
So you just bring accusations and don't care to listen.
Have you ever had a girlfriend or partner?
You guys are going way too fast. Yes, I have, but let's stay on course.
He's never pleased.
I was just curious because it just doesn't sound like you maybe had certain experiences.
Guys, I understand you may be very bitter on the inside, but
we are not.
You are, because you're showing it by how you treat people.
I feel like you're projecting.
You're projecting. You came up here and you were an asshole from the beginning. You wouldn't let people talk. You cut people off at every angle. That's why I started being a dick. You started saying things that we were saying that weren't true. You were literally listening to our words and then saying something totally different that we never said.
So I'll make sure I'll make sure to put that as an introduction statement and then proceed to show your hypocrisy in the latest live and all of the content that I will expose you on.
You can't expose me on anything. I
80 people in here, bro.
Yeah, I have 80 people and I have 30 over on YouTube.
You're married, bro. How old are you? This is sad. I'm 27 years old. I should not have to be correcting you.
You have not corrected me on a single thing. You know nothing.
I thought you were like.
I thought he may be like 15 with his understanding of sex. So do you think that what do you think is moral? Now you're gonna have to explain to me what is morally wrong about homosexuality, because we've already discussed about the having babies thing doesn't work. Either that or you have to apply that to heterosexuals as well. So what is morally wrong about being gay?
Just say
what I just described before. There's
No,
two distinct
the
differences.
only thing you
And
got.
if we have to agree to disagree, then that's fine, man. We don't have to hate each other. You don't
Just
have to
say
hate.
your Bible
You don't have to hate
says
people
so.
just because you disagree with them.
No, you have not provided us with a real reason
I
because
have, and I will
you,
continue.
no, it was a hypocritical reason, and I
So now
pointed
it's
out the flaw,
hypocritical. At first, I did bring a
shut
reason.
up. I pointed out the
You
flaw
said
in
you
it,
shut
and you
up.
wouldn't address it.
Grown man has to use big words like
Look
that.
at him.
Look at
Will
him cry.
you
You need a tissue?
look at him?
Grown
He's
man, bro,
deflecting
come on.
again. Look at this
What
guy.
is
He's
going on?
deflecting
Have you
again.
Continue, please.
Okay.
You don't practice what you preach.
Do you think? Oh, yes, I do. Do you think that
just an endless amounts of questions and no conclusion?
Do you think that it is wrong to enter a relationship in which you cannot reproduce?
What do you mean by that?
Do you think it's wrong to enter in a sexual relationship in which you cannot reproduce?
Women, after they have menopause, cannot have babies anymore. Can women after menopause be able to get into a relationship ever again? Or are they just worthless now?
So this makes an interesting point because hosts tried to belittle women that couldn't become pregnant.
Weird straw man. Answer the question.
I'm trying to, but you're focusing on women with menopause, bro. That's their decision if they didn't want to become married at that age. I'm sorry. Number two, bro, just because a woman...
What if they were married and then their husband unalived tragically?
Just because a woman is infertile... Just because a woman is infertile doesn't mean she's not valued for love, and that's a sick, twisted mindset.
Okay, then is it wrong to be in a homosexual relationship because you can't reproduce?
Yes, it goes against nature.
Look at him! What an idiot! He's like, no, it's fine. You can have a relationship with somebody that can't reproduce unless it's another guy. Unless it's another guy.
It's like obsessive with heteronormativity.
It's just absolutely crazy, this guy. So, he doesn't even hear himself.
You know,
I wonder how many times his parents dropped him on his head when he was a kid.
Hold on. There's homosexual couples in the Bible.
With heterosexualism, right? I'm not trying to say that.
Did you know that there's male concubines in the Bible?
When I speak about, infertile women and gay men, that's two completely totally
different. Not when you're using the equation about having kids, it is not. It is not. It is not. Biology... Hold on. If the problem is having children, then you have the same problem with both.
Let me ask this question. Here, maybe I can reframe it.
You guys are way too quick with this right now.
I can reframe the question. Hold on, give me a second.
I need to get color crayons and draw him a picture, maybe. I don't know if he knows what boobs are or anything, so I might have to draw a bunch of different pictures.
You guys are at least 40. Calm down.
Oh, no.
I've had testicular cancer.
You're going to raise your high blood pressure. Relax.
I've had testicular cancer, and I had to get both testicles removed.
Okay, and I've had
it wrong for me? Would it be wrong for me to get...
He cannot stop and listen to anything. Shut the fuck up or I will drop you. Let Benny get his words out. I swear to God, one more time interrupting and you're gone.
Is it wrong for me to be a sterile man?
Yes, 64 colors.
Get with a fertile woman?
No, and I never said it was wrong.
Why is that not wrong?
I've had a varicose vein, bro. I got surgery at 23.
But I can't reproduce with her.
Yeah, neither can I. But you don't see me crying and saying a woman's not worthy of love or I'm not worthy of love.
That's not what anybody fucking said at all.
Sir, watch your mouth. That's very
nasty. I will not fucking watch my fucking mouth on my own fucking live.
Hold on, guys. Now, is it bad then for me?
That's sad.
Is it bad for me who cannot have
it's not children? Bad for you to want to love another woman, even if you're infertile.
What about if I wanted to love another man?
Yes, then that's when you're treading water.
How?
It completely goes against design. Scientific design.
Nope.
Design?
Incorrect.
There's plenty of same-sex couples in animals.
It's a result of sin.
Sin?
Penguin sin?
Sinful nature. Complete contradictive.
All right, so do penguins go to hell?
Yeah, are penguins actively sinning when they have two boys?
For the animals, bro. He came to atone for the unrighteous.
Okay, so do penguins sin?
Oh my gosh, these are legitimate questions, bro.
Yeah, he can't
These are
answer it because he
legitimate
knows
thoughts
where
in
it's
your head.
I
going.
really don't want to.
This guy is an
You guys are leaving me
idiot.
no choice.
Do penguins sin? Because
You're
there are
really
penguin homosexual couples that we have documented. So do penguins sin?
Who taught you? Like
Penguins?
who taught you like nature and science?
I would love to answer
Nobody.
questions, but you guys are going way too fast. You're just hurting yourselves by not getting an answer and just talking over.
No, you
I
just
would love to help you
don't
out, but
understand biology.
Okay,
You don't
do
understand
penguins
hormones.
do
You don't
penguins
understand
sin?
human nature.
I
Do
understand
penguins
that, guys.
do penguins sin when they're in a homosexual relationship?
Yeah, Oscar actually made it perfectly clear. They mate with the same mate for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, even homosexually. So is it okay?
By what
Is it?
stat is
Oh,
that? Where'd you pull
we
that?
have
Apostate?
documented cases
Where'd you pull
where
that?
male
Apostate?
and male penguins are life partners.
Yeah,
Tell
why?
me,
You're
is
not
that a
life
sin?
partners.
Is
You're gonna
that a
believe-
sin?
You're gonna believe anything online, right?
No, this is an actual
You
scientific.
go to Antarctica and study this.
Look
and
at this
watch-
dumbass.
I'm not a
He
dumbass.
he believes a book that was written 2,000 years ago about something that applies nothing to him.
Now he's
He
crazy.
believes
There's no
in
penguins in-
He's a grown man that believes in a fairy tale. He
And there's no
believes in
penguins in
Sky
Antarctica.
Santa,
Notice
and
how
he
they
wants to act like we're crazy for believing documented
Yeah,
science.
this is what I'm trying
Penguins
to
aren't
say.
in Antarctica.
So this is what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to dictate. I'm not trying to negate the fact that there's homosexuality within animals. That's a fact.
Is it sin?
Animals picked up on the same sinful nature we did. You saw it in the garden. So number two.
They picked up on it.
Yeah,
Number two,
they
I
saw
don't
us.
think they were gay
They
animals
saw the
before,
gayness.
before humans.
So,
Why did
number
God
two-
tell Adam to find
No,
a partner
number two.
originally from the animals?
So number two, I would be concerned, right? It's very important not to.
concerned.
It's very important.
I'm very concerned.
It's very important not to follow another man's ignorance, but seek out truth for yourself.
Yeah, so we're going to do it from your Bible. Why did God tell Adam to find a mate out of the animals before seeing that there wasn't a good one and then creating a woman?
What do you mean find a mate? Which verse are you referring to?
Yeah, so it's Genesis 2.
Yeah. What did God
Yeah.
tell Adam and Eve?
Yeah, I don't care about that. We're talking about what happened before Eve was created. God first told him to
Guys,
find a
he
mate
doesn't care.
out of the animals. Why would God tell him to find a mate out of the animals
What do you
before
mean
creating a
find mate
woman?
out of the animal?
Before Eve was created, he went through and looked at
Yeah.
all of the animals and said, I don't like all of these animals as a
No.
mate. I
Yep.
want a different.
It is not good for man to be alone. I shall
Mhm.
make a proper helper. Do you know what helper means in the Greek? We see it 16 out
Hebrew?
of 20 times mentioned. It's
Who's-
God. Ezra.
In the
mean-
Greek?
The Hebrew?
This dude's a dumbass. Is Eve his helper?
How many times are you going to call me names when you don't have a rebuttal?
I do answer the goddamn question. Is Eve his helper?
Yeah. You know why she
Okay.
is? She came
Okay.
From his rib.
Hold the fuck on. No,
Adam said-
because God, hold on.
Adam
God
said,
said
"Bone,
to
flesh of
look,
my flesh."
God
This is
had
real.
him, he can't,
Yeah, you need
he
to
just
listen,
can't
buddy.
shut the fuck up. All right,
Aw,
the
are you
Lord,
mad because I'm stating truth?
no,
Come on,
I'm
bro,
trying
this
to
is
read
how
your
you
Bible
think.
to you, Why do you hate your Bible? Let me read your Bible to you of what it actually says.
You're not
It
reading
says, the Lord God said, it is not good for man to be alone.
There you go.
I will make for him a helper as a partner.
Yeah.
So out of the ground he formed every animal of the field and every bird of the air, brought them to man to see what he would call them, and whatever the man called them, the living creature, that was its
You
name.
just skipped
The-
over verses.
No, I did
You
not.
just skipped over 5 verses. Yeah, you did.
Are you a dumbass? I'm
No,
literally
because I'm reading Genesis 2 right now, and it clears
18
up. This is at last.
This guy is fucking wild. I'm literally reading, I've read verse 18, 19.
This guy is leading you to hell. This guy's
Then the
leading you to
Lord
hell.
got his read it out of your Bible. Do it.
I would-
Read
Thanks.
18 through 21.
Yeah, I'll read to 24.
Sure.
No, you
So-
read to 21.
Oh, why? You don't want people to know the truth?
No, we can read that after we discuss through 21.
No, you don't.
I'll let you read it.
Oh my God! Just let him read it all. Freaking.
Yeah, just fucking read it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Then the Lord God, the cursing, bro, just for your own benefit, bro.
Fuck.
It doesn't make you.
Jesus was a cuck and a little fuck.
Then the Lord God said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him." Now out of the ground the Lord God had formed every beast of the field and every bird of the heavens, and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called every living creature, that was its name. The man gave names to all livestock, and to the birds of the heavens, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helper fit for him. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and while he slept, he took one of his ribs and closed up its place with flesh. And the rib that the Lord God had taken from the man, he made into a woman and brought her to the man. Then the man said, "This is at last bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother, and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And the man and his wife were both naked, and were not ashamed." Host, I see it's trickling at your heart.
So don't hold on, just shut up. So in verse, hold on. When he said he needed a helper, and then he created the animals and brought him to him. Correct? Is that true? You're going to answer my goddamn questions. I'm sick of you going off on your tangents. Did God say that he needed to find a helper and then brought him the animals?
So the animals weren't.
No, that is not what I asked you. I asked you a simple question. Did God say he needed a helper, then brought him the animals?
So you see the helper.
See, he can't answer the question because he knows he's about to get fucking cooked.
No, you're silencing
his answer the question. It's a simple question. You can't ever answer. So did God say, this is a yes or no, it's simple. Did God say he needed a helper, then brought him the animals?
You shall be called a woman, you are my helper.
Look at this dumbass. He can't actually answer the question because he knows where this ends. I'm going to ask you one last time. This is your last chance to answer. I'm getting rid of you.
If you don't want to listen, I can leave because I'll answer it the third time, but you make yourself
You have not answered the fucking question.
You make yourself look like a fool. I'm not going to pretend to be angry due to your ignorance.
No, you're an idiot. So listen.
I'm an idiot because you can't understand what I'm saying.
No, that is not the problem. Yeah, that is not the problem at all.
Listen. You're the problem.
Listen to me. I'm going to ask you this question one more time, and you're going to answer it with a yes or no, or I will get rid of you.
The helper is Eve.
Is it? I do not care about Eve. That's not what...
Eve is the
why
helper,
don't you want to talk? Look, he doesn't want to talk about the part of his Bible that I want to talk about because he knows fucking damn good and well that if he did talk about the part of the Bible I want to talk about, it's not going to bode well for him. So he will not. He refuses. You guys are all watching him refuse to talk about the verses I want to talk about. And we all know why. This is your last chance to talk about the verses we're talking about. Did God say he needed a helper, so he brought him all of the animals? Is that what happened?
No.
First, okay, so that's not what happened. So we'll read it again to show you're a liar. It is not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper for him. So out of the ground, look at this guy. We're talking about these verses, so I have to read them again because you obviously have reading comprehension problems.
Read it again because you can't listen right.
So out of the ground, the Lord formed... Shut up.
Aww.
Out of the ground,
41,
the Lord God formed
you can talk when he's done.
Look at him.
Just wait for him.
He just went over it.
Yeah, because you obviously had no comprehension of what I just read. It says...
I read it to you. What are you talking about, bozo?
Yeah, I know. If you didn't comprehend anything.
You're not engaging at all.
His. We are We're talking about the first 2 verses for now. We will get to the rest. We will get to the rest. We're going step by step through this passage. So either you're going to engage or you're not. Are you going to engage with this reference? Yes or no?
I tried to. I read all the verses.
No, we are engaging step by step on what the story is saying. Are you going to engage with the step by step breakdown or no?
Yes, and I do have a question for you.
Okay, you're going to.
Hold on.
Ask me one question, and then I will go on.
Are you officially or unofficially diagnosed with narcissism?
Oh no, I don't have narcissism. Christians tend to have narcissism because they lack empathy, because the Bible tells you not to be empathetic, but that's besides the point. All right, so we're going to go through verse 18 and 19, and we're going to discuss that, and then we will go 20 and 21, we'll discuss that, and then we will go down to your favorite part where the woman's formed, okay?
Yeah, even in Mark, Jesus talks about the man.
Yeah, I don't care about Mark. We're not talking about that. We're talking about analyzing this.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right.
Settle down.
Then
bro.
the Lord your God said, "It is not good for man."
You don't gotta roll your eyes either, Benny.
This guy he can't engage with his own book.
We're all men here.
Then the Lord God said, "It is not good that man should be alone. I will make for him a helper as a partner." So out of the ground the Lord God formed every animal of the field and every bird of the air, and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called the living creatures, that was its name. The man gave names to all the cattle and all the birds of the air, and to every animal of the field. But for the man there was not a helper. He could not find a helper as a partner.
You just rebutted yourself again.
Did
you hear the hesitation in your voice? You're like, oh, what did that say? Yeah, the helper isn't the animals, bro. We had to read it.
Yes. All right. Did God bring him the animals to find a helper before he made the woman?
Why would God bring all the animals to him?
Because Adam had dominion over them. In the previous verses, you will see, be fruitful and multiply. Look, listen.
I do not give a fuck about that. We are engaging with the verses right here.
You want answers.
Did God bring the animals to him to find a partner? Did God bring him to find a partner out of the animals?
No, next question.
All right. So you're just a liar too. All right. So his can't engage in a conversation, and he's a liar. He doesn't want to actually engage because he knows what the story actually says. And it makes his God look like a dumbass.
Yeah, awful.
That was one of the worst guesses.
I gotta disagree. I don't think that the problem is that he doesn't know his book. Or is that he knows the passage and doesn't like it. I think he just genuinely doesn't know the book because he said it was in Greek.
Oh.
Yeah,
No.
The word for helper is aver.
His cooked nothing but his own brain cells. That was one of the most embarrassing attempts to have a conversation I've ever seen.
Azer.
That is not rage quitting. That is, I can only take so much stupidity before I can't do it anymore.
On the reals, though, if you were battling bisexuality and you think that like Christianity brought you out of that, that's not true. I mean, you know it deep down. I know it deep down. Liz knows it deep down. Joyful knows it deep down. We all know what it's like to be in the rainbow community. All right, it's not a choice. You should really just accept yourself and be okay with that. And instead, you're like making up and going along with these dangerous verses and ideologies.
If you keep spamming, you're going to get muted in my comments too. We don't.
I'm not
spam
making
here.
fun of you, dude. I'm trying to tell you.
I am.
That you can't make the choice. You can't stop being bisexual. You can't stop being gay.
Yeah, I think the confusion that a lot of people have is that they feel that everybody is probably born the same way that I am, right? So they must all be born thinking that both men and women are attractive. And then we just choose what we want to do with that attraction and what we call ourselves. That's not the case. If you are genuinely attracted to both sexes, then you're bisexual. Now you can decide and again make your own choice to not participate in that, but it doesn't erase the fact that you are attracted to both genders, both of the typical binary genders at least.
That's
Whether
funny.
or not you act on that attraction is
all
up
of
to
his
you.
little fanboys won't come up here. Because they know. All I'm going to ask you is name one good point he made and how he solidified it. That's all I was going to ask any of you little fanboys that are down in the comments sucking his dick. I just want to know, what is a good point he made and how did he solidify it?
Yeah, Oscar, come up. Can you also tell me how you
they cannot iterate a single
magically
one.
ended your homosexuality? Because there's nothing, there's no I guarantee that you have stuff in your internet history that you are in denial of.
Do we need to talk about the RNC?
Well, come up and explain it to me, Caesar. Maybe you can actually have a decent conversation.
Gentlemen, I will let you go. I did want to also add in that as a female presenting person that is physically unable to have children, I do agree that yes, there was offense, but it was not by these two gentlemen. It was by his. It's really funny because before his even said that, I had already started typing something in the comments saying how that was offensive. So ironic, I think. So just to let everyone know, yeah, we heard you and you are the offensive one. So.
Absolutely. See you, Liz. It's funny
if
that
you come up again at this point, you're just hitting on us. And like, yeah, call me. Like, you can call me. I'll give you some attention.
Your actions speak the truth. When you cannot actually honestly engage with a debate, that shows that you are on the losing side. I never have to lie about things that are true. You only have to lie about things that aren't true. And that's all you did. You came up here, obfuscated every question. You wouldn't engage with the actual scripture and would just run in fucking circles. Anyways, I did kick him because he wouldn't engage.
We are free to discuss, debate, to ask questions of...
Nope, leaving the debate is not losing the debate. Sometimes you show mercy on somebody by kicking them because they look so dumb.
No, his just like, there was no interaction going on. It was like you try to talk and he would just talk over you. I would try and talk and he would just talk over. We would try to mute him. He would unmute himself.
Yeah.
Like, we let him talk.
And then he'd cry that we were like not letting him say things. It was fucking crazy.
And misinformation such as men and women can't have like they can't reproduce unless they're heterosexual. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yes, they can.
Just ignorant. And he wouldn't engage with that question when I asked him. He would not engage with homosexual men can have children the natural way with a homosexual woman. He wouldn't engage with that question because he knew that it blew his whole shit out of the
water. I'm going to bring him up, but let me do this line of questioning real quick.
Okay. I won't say a word. I'm going to take a break.
I'm just going to ask you a question. It's just going to be you and me going back and forth here, okay?
Yeah, I'm still waiting because it seems like you guys haven't really taken care of the anger. So thank you for kicking me. I mean, maybe you're calmed down more. I was willing to hang out,
Cool. Now, is being gay a choice?
Yeah.
It's a choice, huh?
Yeah.
Now, did you make that choice? Does everybody make the choice to either become gay or stay, or I guess, are they born straight? Are they just like asexual and then they just like choose?
6M, yes. This is the only asshole that's been in the box.
With my personal experience, I was first sexually abused by a male at 4. So with that, since we're children, we don't have any critical thinking. We're like sponges. We pretty much pick up on anything that we're exposed to over time. Hence why we're pretty much like our parents most of the time when we grow up, and we don't want to be. But yeah, ever since then, and exposure to things in school, especially at being a young age, unfortunately kids were saying a lot of stuff, showing a lot of stuff, especially with technology. People are just giving their kids phones freely, internet usage. So there's just like a constant like confusion cycle. I had that desire to, always want to be married, to have children, but then I still battled with this, mindset, a different mindset. And I knew even before being saved, hey, this isn't sitting right with me.
So, okay, where did the choice come in that you just said that your choice was to get married and to have children and do all of that, but you were battling this mindset, like almost like you didn't choose this mindset and you're battling with it.
Yeah, this wasn't a thing that I was born with. It was something that I picked up on due to traumatic events and exposure. So over time...
No, see, now you're being anecdotal.
Please don't invalidate my testimony, because you don't live my life.
I'm just saying your testimony is about as worth as my testimony. I'm not
saying I'm a better person than you. Just please give me respect.
You are invalidating his.
What about my testimony?
You are invalidating Benny's testimony.
Yeah, what about my testimony?
Yeah, he said that he didn't make a choice. Is it true that he didn't make a choice?
When I tell you nobody was holding a firearm to my head on these apps,
did Benny make a choice?
The point is that I was not traumatized as a kid.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say you are. It's just me. That's why I started it off with my personal testimony, not Benny's.
Also, I wanted to have girlfriends and maybe a wife.
That's amazing, bro. I would love to hear you out when the time is right. You said you wanted to keep it cordial and respectful, and as a man that looks at least 35, I would expect that.
Okay. Cool.
I'm here to love you, bro. I'm not here to hate you. I'm not better than you either. I'm not better than either one of you.
But what I'm saying here is that your evidence of choice is not being supported, because my anecdotal evidence of not having trauma just negated your anecdotal evidence of being traumatized, and that was why you were battling with these feelings.
So why are you bisexual? If you say, apparently heterosexualism isn't natural.
I don't know why. I guess you just feel that way.
There's the sexual confusion that I battled with for over a decade.
It's not sexual confusion. I want an honest answer. When did you choose to be attracted to women?
I have always had an attraction towards women.
Okay, same with Benny and men. How hard is that to comprehend?
But he has an attraction for women. He said he's bisexual.
Yeah, so naturally has one for both.
It's like a 90-10 thing anymore. I'm way more attracted.
Apparently, what you're getting at, bisexual people are just completely different than gays. We're just on two different spectrums of humanity. Is that your logic?
What?
I don't know what the fuck you're even saying.
Bisexuals and gays are just two different spectrums of humanity.
They are two different sexualities, yes.
So
no, my boyfriend.
You're trying to say that homosexuality is natural, but why isn't heterosexualism? Why are you bisexual?
They're both. They're all natural. They're all natural.
Why isn't everybody bi? Why isn't everybody gay?
Oh my God! Finally, somebody else is coming.
Where's the logic in it, guys? There's no consistency.
No, there is. You're just a fucking idiot and can't understand the simplest shit.
Seriously.
God.
It's not a choice, dude. You even admitted that earlier.
Yeah. He had
Little Red Giant.
He's just.
Can we get your age real quick for TikTok purposes?
22.
All right. And what'd you come to talk about?
I was wondering, the God is evil. If his nature does not allow him to be evil, so I was wondering where that statement was coming from.
I would say God is evil because I do not think there's ever an appropriate time to unalive infants, especially under the circumstances where God did it.
Can you point out some?
Yeah, like 1 Samuel 15:3.
Yeah, when the Israelites were going over and conquering Canaan, and
Nope. That was already over with. They were already in their land. They've got their first king.
okay, so then what part is that?
Yeah, it's 1 Samuel 15. Let me get it pulled up here. We'll read it. Let me see. So this is literally 400 years after they have left Egypt, when they got their first king according to lineage. So Samuel said to Saul, "The Lord sent me to anoint you king over his people, Israel. Now therefore listen to the words of the Lord. Thus says the Lord of hosts, I will punish the Amalekites for what they did in opposing Israelites when they came out of Egypt. Now go and attack Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have. Do not spare them, but kill both man, women, children, and infants."
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's appropriate? Do you think that's good?
Well, looking at it from the standpoint, the Amalekites, it says they noted what they did to Israel, so they did something to them that God did not approve of. And
Yeah,
that was
400
evil,
years, 400
right?
years before them. So why are these
So
infants being punished? You think it's good to punish infants for something their great 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 grandparents did?
I believe that the infants are not being punished; they're actually being shown mercy. Would you want an infant that their entire culture has been wiped out to be either A, grow up as a slave to the Israelites, now more of a servanthood slave, or two, to grow up with no parents, no nothing. All they have is just themselves in this Israelite captivity. They have no idea what's going on. Or would you want them to go straight to heaven as what is stated the Bible would happen to an infant
Never
that's
in the
not held
Bible does it
accountable?
say that. In fact, it says only the believing children go to heaven.
No, in the Bible, in fact, it does say that those who are
Where?
not
Show
held
me.
accountable.
Show me. Show me where it says
I
that.
don't have it. Okay,
Yeah,
let
it's
me.
not in there. That's something Christians say to negate the fact that that's just something they make up to make them feel warm and fuzzy inside. The closest thing you have is where David says he will see his son, but back before Jesus, everybody that was Israel went to Abraham's bosom. We learned that later. So that has nothing to do with heaven or hell. So what we have now is all we have is the New Testament to go off of when there is heaven and hell. And in 1 Corinthians 7, it says that only the child of the believing parent will be made holy, and if there isn't a believing, they will be unclean.
You are missing the fact that those who sin, from the Bible standpoint, will go to hell that are
You
not
don't believe in
saved,
original sin?
right? If
Do you
they are
believe in
not
original
saved,
sin?
define original sin as you would define
Original
it.
sin would be sin is passed down from Adam onto everybody. You have the curse of sin upon you.
No, it can't be. We're held accountable for our own actions.
Okay.
Were
We'll
the
go to the Bible on
Amalekites
that too.
400 years after the fact being held accountable for their actions? Because this is 400 years later. They didn't do anything to the Israelites, those people 400 years later.
This is not our time point. This is the old law. This is completely
I don't
different
care.
from the
Your
new law.
God said to kill innocent people, and I want to understand why Christians will bend their necks backwards to defend it.
I mean no offense here, but I do not know the context of this story, so I do not know what
Well,
when
I
you
just read
said
it
this
to
happened
you.
400 years earlier. It doesn't say anything about 400 years earlier.
Well, okay, so here I'll give a quick rundown. So, after Exodus, after Moses takes them out of Egypt, they're wandering the desert, and after they get through the desert and past the Red Sea and everything, the Amalekites do intercept them because they go onto the Amalekites' land, and for that reason, and I'm guessing the Amalekites had battle with them and probably unalived a few of them, if not many of them. 400 years later, randomly, King Saul is tasked with going and living up to that retribution that God promised back then. But The thing is that they are now unaliving people that had nothing to do with it.
Well, if you read further in 1 Samuel, it says that the king of the sorry, I cannot pronounce that. Amalekites, alive and was devoted to the destruction of all the people with the edge of the sword. So he's killing people. He's devoted to killing people with the edge of the sword. So how is that not an evil thing? And this is present time, not 400 years before.
When God gives the command in 15:3, what is his reasoning?
Read further to 8, the king of the
What is
Amalekites.
his reasoning for the attack, though?
Yes, read further to 8. The king.
What is God's yeah, I know
people.
what it says. It says nothing about that being part of God's reasoning, does it?
It can be inferred. That's how what you
no,
do when you read
he
literature.
gives his actual reasoning. Up here it says, I will punish the Amalekites for what they did in opposing the Israelites when they came up from Egypt. So that is what the reason for this attack is. He is punishing them for that thing. That's the only place it tells us what he is punishing them for.
Now, God could have said, you know, the Amalekites are like just indiscriminately, you know, putting people under the sword, and that is why.
And it doesn't say that King Agag was killing anybody. He took King Agag captive, and then he killed everybody else. So Saul is the one doing the killing here, God's king, not Agag.
It says in verse 8 that
he took King Agag of the Amalekites alive,
no, that's verse 9.
but utterly destroyed all of the people with the edge of the sword.
And if you'd like to back up, it says the king of the Amalekites was alive and devoted to the destruction of all the people by the edge of the sword.
So no, alive but utterly destroyed. Yes, the people that were destroying all the people in the village was Saul, who took Agag captive.
And Agag was also actively killing people.
No, that is absolutely wrong.
Saul later gets in trouble for taking that king captive because he technically didn't unalive all of them.
And there's no technicality. He didn't.
And besides the fact, though, like, what did the children do? Were the babies unaliving people?
No.
Then why destroy them?
Because it's saving them. It's having mercy. If you don't, babies cannot be held accountable for their sin because they don't know right from wrong. They cannot sin because they have no concept of that. You cannot say a baby that was just born is now sinful, because what have they done to anybody that's sinful? So a baby is without sin, so therefore if they died, they're not going to hell. They're not being punished for their sins.
Then why don't we just go unalive all the babies and have mercy on them?
Because that is morally wrong for us. It is not.
No, God told them to do it. God told human beings to do it. And you're saying the reason he told human beings to do it was to have mercy on them. So that would be no different. This isn't God carrying this out. These are human beings killing babies with a sword.
This is also God's people enacting punishment on the people that have wronged them, as it says.
Yeah, infants. So you think sometimes it's good to unalive infants?
Just say yes, because that's the only logical answer. Otherwise, you seem illogical or absurd.
No, I never think is a lot good to unalive infants.
So God told them to do something that was not good?
In my viewpoint, morally I can never justify that, but
and your morals are better than God's.
Yeah, you have better morals than God.
I cannot say that.
Well, you do, because he commanded human beings to kill infants. Do you understand that? Like, we're reading a text where he literally tells people to go with a sword and kill infants. And you're defending it, but then you're saying it's not, you could not defend it morally. But that is my whole point. Morally, it's indefensible. It's evil.
Morally, it's merciful.
Oh, so it is good. Morally, it's good?
Would you rather have them growing up in slavery, or would you rather have them going to heaven?
Why sometimes does God tell them to take the children as captives, and then this time he tells them to kill them?
I don't know.
Did he? What time did? Hold on. Which time did he do something good? Because you're trying to act like this was mercy because the other way is bad. Well, then why did God tell him to do the bad thing the other time? You're stuck with two immoral choices based on your own interpretation.
There is a great video of, I believe his name is Cliff. Do y'all know who I'm talking about? A debater.
Yeah.
And he was debating this exact topic with a philosophy student. And he puts it in better words than I can ever put it, because I'm ignorant in a lot of the stuff he knows. But who are we to say for something? The Christians believe God created them. Who are we to speak on the behalf of the Creator? You know what I mean?
No.
So even though I might not be able to fully understand everything, it's not for me to fully understand.
But you do understand that unaliving babies is like
for no purpose. Of course.
Yeah, it's pretty.
But there are. But no, throwing that nuance in there tells me that you think there are times where there's a purpose good enough to unalive infants, right?
Well, maybe if you had like way too many infants and you were hungry, I don't know. Actually, God does. God talks about doing that to his enemies, where he will put his enemies at siege and make them eat their children.
God won't make them. They will choose to do that because they have no food. He's not actively like controlling them like a puppet on strings, making them.
No, he says he is making them do it. Is he lying when he says he's making them do it?
Making them do it, like I said, doesn't mean he's actively controlling their
If I took all of your food away and made it so you could not leave, and there was a baby, and the only way you could eat is to consume that baby, is that not making you do it?
No offense, I'm not doing hypotheticals, because there's never a
literally what he's doing to the empires and cities that they're sieging. That's like what siege warfare is you cut off all supplies, all water, all food, all like any kind of resources that would be coming in, and make them, it pretty much starves them out.
I would completely agree to the fact that in warfare, what they're doing is they're completely eradicating the people of like the Canaans and everything. If there was a better way to do it without unaliving all these children and women that were innocent, I agree with you. I would love to take that route. But for the purpose that he was trying to do, there wasn't a better alternative. They would either raise up and be...
So it was a good choice to kill the infants. Can you just say it?
I would never say killing
But you are saying it. You just can't bring yourself to actually say it.
You can word it like this. You can word it like God...
There was no other better way.
Allowed it for the greater good.
He could have just not sucked revenge 400 years later on a group of people that had nothing to do with it.
Or he could have, like, teleported them to a bunch of loving mothers that were really nice.
Or snapped them out of existence, stopped their hearts to where they didn't get brutally murdered with a sword. I mean, your God's all powerful.
Could he just age them up into like teenager or like young adult level? Now we're getting into the hypotheticals.
Okay, so here, let's go to another. For instance, since that was our first, for instance, here's another one. Do you think it's ever good to capture a woman and force her into a sexual relationship with a man?
No.
Okay. So part of Deuteronomy, this is God giving the law. He says, when you go to war against your enemy and the Lord your God hands them over to you and you take captives, suppose you see Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 10 through 14.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for the interruption.
Oh, you're fine. God's hand them over to you, and you take them captive. Suppose you see among the captives a beautiful woman whom you desire and want to marry. So you will bring them home to your house. She shall shave her head and pare her nails, discard her captive's garb, and remain in your house a full month, mourning her father and mother. After that, you may go into her and be her husband, and she shall be your wife. But if you are not satisfied with her, you shall let her go free, and certainly not sell her for money. You must not treat her as a slave, since you have dishonored her. So this is clearly a sexual relationship that happens after you let them mourn for 30 days, and these are captives. Is that a good thing God said they could do?
From today's standpoint, no.
From
I
any
don't really agree with
standpoint.
this.
From any standpoint. So you think there was a time where it was good to capture women and rape them?
Well, there was a time where the female and male, place in society is not the same as it is today.
Yeah, but God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So if it was moral then, it would be moral now, correct? Yeah, morals would not change. If God is the same, morals would not change, correct?
Well, maybe
God's
Little Red Giant could subscribe to like subjective morality and still be you could still
That's
be
true.
a Christian.
Okay, so God didn't know it was wrong to do this, is what you're saying back then?
No.
Or God knew it was wrong and it's just
and did it anyway.
Yeah.
Back then it would have been acceptable. By today, it's not.
But God knew if it's unacceptable today, God would know. Oh, so you're saying that it's just societal that this is bad?
No, that's just one of the many reasons.
Okay, then tell me why it's bad then. If it wasn't bad back then, what makes it bad now besides society?
Well, women today are not viewed the exact same as they were back then.
That's society again. We're not talking. I said without society. Tell me, without society making it bad, why is this bad?
Because it is another living human being.
Okay, same back then.
Yeah, but the point is society's different. So it's
only society that makes it bad.
The one point that makes it bad. So how can you argue that just because your one point is
because what you're saying is back then none of them other points mattered. The only thing that matters is that society now says it's bad. The other points that they were human was the same back then. Every other point you can bring up is going to be the same back then. The only difference is going to be society. And then, so now, it's only wrong because of society's changing.
Which, I mean, that makes more sense to me than...
I agree. Subjective morals do lead you there. But you can't get there with a God that's all-knowing and telling people what they can and can't do that will make them holy. He says they will be holy if they follow this law.
Yeah, it would almost imply that the Bible should not be taken as like good advice for a newer time.
What do you mean by that?
Well, like, why take your like base, because that's what a lot of people do, is they base their morals, they even like base their whole like how they view the world on the Bible, and they use it for like stories of how things got here and how to act upon things. And it's a 2,000+ year old book that you agree was for the people back then.
Well, it's clear that the Old Testament, of course, the old laws and everything were clearly for the people back then. But this New Testament is clearly for the foreseeable future. Would you not agree?
No,
because, like, for instance...
Well, that's where we differ. Because it is clear.
Do you think it's wrong for
everyone after Jesus' death?
Okay, do you think it's wrong for a woman to divorce an abusive husband?
No.
Jesus said it was.
So.
No, Jesus says that you can't. Sexual unfaithfulness is the only reason, according to Jesus and Paul, you should divorce.
Also, Jesus said in Matthew and other places, I think about 5 different times, that the law of the Old Testament, the Torah, is to be upheld until the heavens and earth
pass away.
Yeah, pass away.
But you're not finishing the end of that verse.
That he came to fulfill it?
No, it says when. What is that verse exactly, so that I can give you verbatim?
Matthew 5.
It's Matthew 5:17 through something.
Because that verse is one I've struggled over. Because, of course, the earth is still here, correct? So then the old law will still be in effect. But then if you look at the end of the verse.
And so does Yahweh say that. Yahweh says that his laws are eternal for all times to be followed. He says that several times in the Old Testament.
In the prophets that talk about the new, like, after the Messiah comes, that the laws will still be practiced, that sacrifices will still be made.
But just really quick, I just want to point this out. Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife? He answered, have you not read the one who made them at the beginning, made them male and female, and said, for this reason a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and two shall become one flesh. So they are no longer two but one flesh. Therefore God has joined together, let no one separate. They said to him, why then did Moses command us to give a certificate of dismissal and to divorce her? He said to them, it was because of the hardness of your hearts Moses allowed you to divorce your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. And I say to you, whoever divorces his wife except for sexual immorality and marries another commits adultery, and he who marries a divorced woman commits adultery. And then we have, but even in that he literally says it was not this way from the beginning. He says that no man should pull apart what is together. The only real reason he gives for divorce is sexual immorality, and we have that again in Paul.
So
Paul says if you divorce your wife, divorce for any reason besides sexual immorality, then you are causing the other person to sin.
In Matthew 5:17, I'll read the whole section. It's not that big. So Jesus is saying, do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have come not to abolish, but to fulfill. For truly I tell you, until the heaven and earth pass away, not one letter, not one stroke of a letter will pass from the law until all is accomplished. Therefore, whoever breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I tell you, unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Mm-hmm. So he's saying until the heavens and earth pass away, the laws are what you practice.
Even
until
the smallest
all is accomplished. And what did Jesus do? He fulfilled everything. He accomplished everything. Therefore, the law went away.
So wait,
and we're now
heaven and earth passing away is part of the accomplishment, right? Because he says until heaven and earth pass away is part of the accomplishment.
Right.
You can't say he said this and this. I like this, so this is what we're going to hold on to, and we're going to throw this part away. That's just nonsense.
Yeah, the prophets are clear that the Messiah would bring a new heaven and earth. So the old heaven and earth would pass away. That's what they mean by the accomplishment, is that the old heaven and earth have passed away. So this would be post second coming of Jesus or something?
No, for I truly say to you, until the heaven and earth pass away, none of this dot iota will pass away from the law until all is accomplished. So the law is going to be here until it is accomplished, and the heaven and earth will be here until it is accomplished. So if the law was never accomplished, then you're going to keep going with this law until heaven and earth pass away, like you said. But since Jesus fulfilled the law and therefore made a perfect example, a perfect sacrifice, made it to where the law was completely fulfilled, he never sinned or anything, then he fulfilled the law, and there's no need for that law anymore, and he gave you this New Testament. The Old Testament is now void, except for what he says.
So fulfilling is abolishing the law?
No. Abolishing is getting rid of it before it is fulfilled. When it's fulfilled, it's not abolishing it anymore. It is taking away what was never not needed. But if it's still needed and you take it away, it's
but what it
abolished.
says is, I did not come to abolish, but to fulfill.
Exactly.
So hold on. So he did them both?
He fulfilled it. And
Which
therefore
abolished
it went away. No. Abolishing it would take it away before it is fulfilled. If it is still needed and you take it away, you abolish it.
This is
how it is no longer needed since a perfect sacrifice was made. It is fulfilled. The law was perfectly upheld.
Biblical scholarship, most amongst them, Bart Ehrman, and I would agree with them on this, because it says it's talking about the law, the capital L-A-W, which is the Torah, and the prophets with the capital P, which is the Nevi'im. These are two books that were available at that time that made up the Hebrew Bible, or the Tanakh. And basically, when he says, I came not to abolish the law, the Torah, but I came to fulfill the prophets, the prophecies, the Nevi'im. You can't fulfill a law. I don't know what fulfilling a law is. That makes no sense to me. But you can fulfill a prophecy.
It says I've not come to abolish both of them.
I've come so you know how like things are written in like kind of like secret like coded ways in the Bible where like the second word applies to like what they were just talking about. So like I came not to abolish the law, and for the prophets I have come not to abolish but to fulfill.
That's not what version are you using?
I mean, no, I'm just like breaking the sentence down because fulfilling the law is
confused.
Well, not only that,
fulfilling the law makes no sense. You're abolishing the law, or you are breaking the law, or you are abiding by the law, but that doesn't mean you fulfill a law. A law is not like a cup that is full. A law is always going, and it's just a rule. So to fulfill a rule
would be to uphold it to the highest standard that is available.
Okay,
and would you say that Jesus did that?
I wouldn't. I would say that he did sin, but that would be.
I would just say that fulfilling is in regards to the prophets, the prophecy.
If he did sin, then it would completely eradicate my entire argument. So where did he sin?
Okay, so first off, we got to go to what a sin is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Give me 1 second. We'll go to 1 John and look at what a sin is.
May I ask for you to define the Torah as well, since the law is Torah, as you say, define Torah.
Yeah, that's literally the law.
And what is the law is what I'm asking. How would you define it?
The first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible, the Torah.
And what do those contain?
It's Hebrew for the law.
And what do those contain?
Do you want me to like name them off? They contain the laws.
Contain the laws or quote unquote rules that they were to abide by, correct?
Right, yeah. Like Leviticus.
So in talking about all of these books that contain all of the rules and regulations by.
Right, and there was another set of books called the Nevi'im. They were called the Nevi'im, or the prophets. Mm-hmm. And that's how they split these books up back in the time of Jesus, was you had the book of the law, and then you had another book, the prophets.
Mm-hmm. I would say Jesus did come and fulfill the prophecies.
Right. So he's not abolishing the law. He came to fulfill the prophecy of the prophets.
Yes, but in the text it says, I did not come to abolish them, talking about both the law and prophets in the previous sentence, and I came to fulfill them. Like I was asking what your version is, because mine has, it's a collective noun, the law and prophets. So it's a collection, and he's talking about both.
I'm reading from an NRSV, but like in my Oxford annotated, it's capitalized. Like when he says the law, it's actually capitalized. And that's referring to the book, the Torah. And the prophets is also capitalized, and that's referring to the book, the Nevi'im, or the prophecies.
Right.
So, and he's like kind of saying, respectively, I did not abolish the law. I came to fulfill the prophecies.
And the law contains all of these regulations. So to abolish all of these books would to be abolish all of these regulations and rules.
He
correct?
came not to abolish.
Yes, but to abolish the law would be to take away all the meaning and all this of these
Right.
regulations and rules, correct?
Right.
But to fulfill them, he would fulfill all these regulations and rules in this law, which is these 5 books.
I don't know how you fulfill a law. That doesn't make
Well, that's
sense.
fine if you don't know how. But being, like I said, being the utmost perfect example would be fulfilling it. And if he sinned, like I said before, that would completely ruin the entire thing. And of course, the Bible would be telling you.
Fulfilling is not upholding. Upholding is upholding. Fulfilling is something that you do with a prophecy. A prophecy is fulfilled when it is come to be. Does a law just come to be? No.
Sorry, repeat that.
A law is just a guideline, a rule, a parameter. It is not something that you can fulfill. It is something you either break or uphold. You can create a law. You can abolish a law, but you can't fulfill a law. That doesn't make any sense to me.
No offense.
How do you fulfill a speeding limit? After you go that speed limit, does it no longer apply?
No, our laws are not the same.
No, I'm just speaking like in strict, just like semantic terms here. Like, if you have a law such as wearing a seatbelt, once you wore that seatbelt, is it still not the law to wear that seatbelt?
No, it's to uphold something. When you're told to uphold this rule, like the seatbelt or the speed limit, to fulfill it is to uphold it. If you fulfill your duty is to wear a seatbelt, correct?
So you're saying,
and if you fulfill your duty, you wear the seatbelt. No.
So if that's the case, then he is abolishing the law.
It's not abolishing, because if the law was still in effect and he took it away, it would abolish it. This is like
twisting the word fulfilled to be abolished. I like, it doesn't make any sense.
If you still need the law and you take it away, it's abolishing it, correct?
That's exactly what you're saying Jesus did.
But if he, like I said, he's the perfect lamb, the sacrifice. If he completely fills all the meanings of it and gives it the perfect sacrifice, the law is no longer needed. So you cannot abolish something that is no longer in effect.
See, and like,
because if it's in effect and you get rid of it, it's abolishing. But if it's not in effect and you get rid of it, it's fulfillment. You're not getting rid of it, it's just no longer in effect. And that's the best way I can put it in my head, how I'm seeing it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though is that Jesus later on, like, is speaking to the Pharisees about, like, when they're talking about washing their hands or not washing their hands, and Jesus says, "Look, you take like gifts for Corban, which is, good in the eyes of God, for children that are unruly, when actually you should be unaliving unruly children that do not obey their parents." Now that's Jesus enforcing that old law. Why would he enforce an old law?
Can you repeat? You cut out. He told them to kill the children for what?
For not obeying their parents. That's one of the...
And he was comparing it to what?
Well, they're saying that washing your hands is necessary. And he's saying, well, look at you. You're not following the law because you take Corban, or like you take a gift or money instead of unaliving your children.
Yeah, so he's calling them hypocrites.
Right.
So what's wrong with that?
Should they be unaliving those children?
They should be unaliving the kids, right?
They should be. If they're not doing what is correct, then they are in the wrong. Now, I don't know where the passage says that they should be killing their kids because they're not following them.
It's Mark 7.
No, I meant in the old law where it
that
says
logically follows with what I've been saying here, that the law is not fulfilled, the law is not abolished, it is held up, and that follows the messianic prophecies of when the Messiah comes, that the law will be, forever, for all of eternity, and that the perfect new world will still carry those laws.
Hold on one second. I have a super chat I want to shout out, and then I want to address something in the chat. Sin, thank you for the $10 super chat. So in Mark 14:51 through 52, in the Greek, Sidona epi gymno, linen garment around his naked body, can be translated as linen bandage around his loins. Now tell me why Jesus was with him. Explain, please. I don't know why Jesus was with the naked boy in the garden when he was supposed to be by himself praying, but you can speculate however you'd like.
Jaren says it's like a deus ex machina of just like something that they had in plays back in those days that had something to do with the Garden of Gethsemane or whatever.
But thank you for the $10 super chat. And then also, Mark 7 does say that. I don't know why you're in the comments. We tried to bring you up earlier and you wouldn't come up. If you have a problem with something we're saying, come up and we can talk about it. Listen, notice how we are having a cordial conversation with Little Red Giant here. His was not engaging with the conversation. He is engaging with the conversation, and that's why we can have conversations with people like Little Red. He's been a great guest, and we can sit here and have a conversation. Just be more really like Little Red, not like his, if you come up.
Is that like a play on like the Little Giants, like the old movie, The Little Giants?
No. I have an older brother that is like 6'3", 300 pounds. Yeah, and so I'm the spitting image of him, just a little bit smaller. So he's the big red. I'm the little red giant.
Okay, I get it.
Right on. My first point would be with the problem of fulfillment of the law being that he kept it all, is in Luke 1 it says that Zechariah had followed the law blamelessly and was righteous because he had always followed it blamelessly. So I don't know how Jesus would be any different than that. That's in Luke 1. Let me pull it. I'm trying to get it pulled up here. It says...
What verse?
It's verse 5 through 6. And he goes, both of them were righteous in the sight of God, deserving all of the laws and decrees blamelessly. If they were blameless people, that would imply to me that they've kept the laws. They've done the things they're supposed to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So did they fulfill the law as well? If they would have unalived right now, would they have fulfilled the law and then Jesus wouldn't have been needed for that?
I get what you mean by like he's being the ultimate sacrifice for like all the laws. So it'd be like he just put on seatbelts for everybody in the world, so they would never have to put on a seatbelt again. But there's like nothing in the Old Testament that would like predict that or anything. So it just seems to be something that's, I don't know, added on like ad hoc to the Jewish tradition.
Hey guys, we also need to get these likes up here in the TikTok. We aren't even to 50,000 and we've been live for 3 hours. Please start tapping them likes. It would be much appreciated. Thank you. But yeah. And then, go ahead, Benny.
I just like, there's nothing in the prophets that I know of the Old Testament that say like, hey, and I would feel like God would also want this to be like mentioned, like, hey, one of the things the Messiah is going to do is be done with the old laws, like the laws that you follow now. But no, he says that the laws are forever. So like that would logically entail Jesus also saying, I am the Messiah. and I am here to keep the law.
Those are some good points that I'm not equipped to answer, and you're correct. The standpoints you're viewing it from, yeah, I would agree with some of them. But was it not what you just said about him not telling us that Jesus would come and fulfill, like, hold up the law and whatnot? Was it not John the Baptist's job to come in and announce to people that there's going to be someone coming that is going to revolutionize, that is going to completely change all this stuff? He is, for lack of a better word, like, he's the one that's coming to
bring peace to Israel. So like that's what the messianic prophecies are, right? And
here's the way. Sorry.
Right, and that's why they reckon him to like Elijah, or is it Elijah? Yeah, I think so. But the thing is, though, is that Israel's not in peace right now, and like Israel has not really seen peace. They say that the Mashiach, or the Anointed One, will like cut off the war horses of different warring like countries and bring Israel to peace, where like a child will sit with like the viper and the lions will sit with the wolves or something like that. It's not lambs. Everybody thinks it's lambs, but it's not. The lions will sit with the lambs. That's like mentioned somewhere, and that's supposed to be like an allegory for it'll be so peaceful that a child could like literally sit with a snake in Israel, and it would not hurt him. I can look up which prophet says that, but like that's what all the prophets are kind of hinting towards, this kind of like peaceful time that's going to be brought with this coming of the Messiah, or the Mashiach. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I do not know what you're referring to, so I can discuss that.
Like if you just go read like any of the messianic prophecies, and you can like start off with like Matthew and just like go, because Matthew will be like, oh, Isaiah said this, Hosea said that. If you like go back and read those prophecies, you'll see like they're talking about like Israel will be an everlasting peace, and all these things. Like that's the whole point. It's not until like Paul comes along that they start saying, and like, because Jesus even admits, like, I've only come for the lost sheep of Israel. So this is all meant to be just the people, the tribes of Israel. And Paul comes along and says, no, we're gonna like graft in the Gentiles, which I think was a smart like move politically, in a way to kind of spread his power, or like over the lands through this kind of new form of Christianity. But I would say that Jesus was a Judaizer. Like he was pushing like the Jewish law, the Jewish like ways. His parents, like, I think they sacrificed 2 turtle doves on his birth, which is what you're supposed to do. They celebrate the Passover. There's just like many things that Jesus would show that Jesus was Jewish.
I would agree that Jesus was a Jew, but he wasn't like a Judaizer. We can see in not a parable, the story of the woman who was calling out to him. That was, I believe she was a Samaritan. She was at least a Gentile, right? And she was calling out to him, asking for help. And he says, well, why should I give what is meant for the children to the dogs first? He's not calling her a dog. He's saying why his mission is to first plant the seeds in Israel, give children Israel what they need, and then the plants, yes,
that
given to Israel,
story,
and then
if you dig,
later
that story
on
was
the
not
Gentiles will receive it.
that story
But his
wasn't
mission
put
is
in
to
the
first give it to
Bible.
the people of the Jews.
That story was placed in the Bible about like 300 or 400 CE. There's no early manuscripts. The earliest manuscripts of the New Testament don't have that story until I think they say 300 or 400 CE. And you can. I wish I had like an actual like source to like give.
No offense, I can't just like.
But like you can like so like the Syrophoenician woman was not in Evangelion or Evangelion, which is the first like written manuscripts, which were ironically enough Paul's letters, but they did have Mark, I think, and Luke, and that story is not in that like manuscript. It was from Marcion, who was a, what do I call him? He was like a Gnostic leader of early like century Christianity. He had these like released as Evangelion, and that story is not in there. So that story first is like added into the, or like seen not until hundreds of years after the fact.
That's fine if you don't want to validate the story. It's not the validation of the story that matters. It's because it's prevalent throughout Jesus' ministry, even without the story, that he is sowing the seeds, setting the seeds, embedding them in the Jews community, and then eventually it will develop into the Gentiles. He is first planting, preparing it to then further the church, which he then is the founder of, and makes it open to everybody. But first, you have to set it into the ground. You have to set the seeds for it to grow and embed into the church that it became.
Okay.
And even without the story, you can see my point. The story just furthered the illustration.
Yeah. What I'm seeing is like a post-Paulian effort to like make Jesus look like he was trying to graft in the Gentiles, where oh, you got louder.
My headphones died.
Oh, you're fine.
Give me a second.
But yeah, we can move on to another subject. Sorry, it might have been getting a little boring for chat.
Okay, sorry. That was my fault. My headphones died.
All right, so in 1 John 3:4, it says, "Whoever committeth sin transgresses the law also," the transgression of the law. So do we agree that sin is the transgression of the law?
From what you read, yeah.
Okay, so I would contest that Jesus transgresses the law a few times. One is when they are picking wheat, and I think that is, let me see here. Yep. Matthew 12.
I'm going to drop. Sorry, buddy. I overspent my hour.
Oh, yeah. You're good.
All right. Love
See
you, buddy. It was nice meeting you, Little Red Giant. Stick around.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
It says, at that time, Jesus went through the grain fields on the Sabbath. His disciples were hungry, and they began to pluck heads of grain and to eat it. But when the Pharisees saw it, they said to him, "Look, your disciples are doing what is not lawful to do on the Sabbath." And what's interesting is what Jesus says. Rather than addressing that it is against the law, he says this. He said to them, "Have you not read what David did when he was hungry, and those who were with him? How he entered the house of God and ate the bread of the not lawful for him to eat, nor for those who were with him, but only for the priests. Or have you not read in the law how the Sabbath, the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are guiltless? I tell you, something greater than the temple is here." So the question is, if sin is transgressing the law, Jesus never says this wasn't a transgression of the law, right? And it is a transgression of the law. He realizes that what they're doing is against the word of the law, right?
Yes, but Jesus is the Lord of the Sabbath.
Yeah, it doesn't
It
matter.
says so.
It doesn't
He's
matter. His disciples aren't. He's condoning, he's making excuses for people that are sinning, which would be a sin, right?
Sorry, repeat that. My brother was asking me a question.
Yeah, he wasn't the one picking the grain. He's excusing other people's sin, which would be a sin.
I don't believe he's excusing it. He's saying they're doing what is necessary. But then again, are they breaking it? Does he say they're not sinning?
He never says they're not sinning, not a single
So then,
time. But oh yeah, he is. He says that they're guiltless. He says he's making. He said you would not have condemned the guiltless. For the Son of Man is the Lord. So he's saying they're guiltless, but they are transgressing the law.
For if you means I desire mercy and not sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
So where does Jesus
is he keeping
transgress?
the law by excusing the behavior because you are to punish those who are in that don't. We have for instance in Deuteronomy where the guy picks up sticks and doesn't even know it's wrong. Moses doesn't even know what to do if it's wrong or not. He's just picking up sticks, and God tells them to take him out to the gates and stone him.
My only thought here would be from verse 6 when it's talking about something greater than the temple. Is there something greater than this idea of the Sabbath? Because of course it's a transgression to take from the Sabbath like they did to profane the Sabbath, and are they guiltless? Well, no, they profane the Sabbath, but if there's something greater than that, then it wouldn't be a transgression. They would be guiltless. Without
the
further
disciples,
knowledge, that's all I can really...
So were the disciples greater than the Sabbath?
No. But
okay, they were the ones doing it. What I'm saying is he's condoning sin. Is condoning sin sin or not a sin?
I would say it's a sin.
Yep. Jesus is condoning the sin of other people. He wasn't the one that was doing it. It was other people doing it.
It wouldn't be a sin because it was greater than the Sabbath. If you get what my meaning. Because what they were doing was not the action of picking wheat, but because what it represents was greater than the Sabbath, then it wasn't a sin. Is what I believe this is trying to say.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. If the law says you can't do it,
it's greater than the law. That's the whole point.
Hold on. What is transgressing the law?
I would say breaking it.
Okay. Are they breaking the law?
From this passage, it seems as if there's something greater than the law, so they're not breaking
it. Doesn't matter. We're talking about the law. Are they breaking the law?
Like I'm saying, in this instance, if it is greater, then it's not breaking it since it's greater than the law.
Okay. I'm
not understanding. That's completely on me. I'm not as knowledgeable in this subject.
Hold on. So, what is the law?
The rules and regulations
that God set forth?
That he gave to them, yeah.
Okay. Did they transgress the laws God gave them?
That's a tricky question. Because without this certain... If it was not at this time, then yes, I would say they did. But since it is stated that something here is happening that is greater than the law, then no.
So they didn't transgress the law. So we're going to stick with they didn't keep the law, but they didn't transgress it.
Well, they couldn't have transgressed it because it says you would not have condemned the guiltless. So why would I call them guiltless if they
Because
did
he's
have
saying
guilt?
that he made them guiltless because he is the Lord of the Sabbath.
Well, if God can do whatever he wants with his creation, no? And since God and Jesus are alike, they're a part of one whole, then he can say that they are guiltless. No?
Well, no, because if sin is transgression of the law, then that is what sin is. It doesn't matter what anybody says.
They're not transgressing the law, is what he's saying.
No, they are. They're literally transgressing the law. They're doing what the law says they can't do on the Sabbath.
That Jesus
is literally
saying they're not transgressing, correct?
Yeah, Jesus is condoning sin.
And since Jesus is the Lord of the Sabbath, he could dictate the Sabbath is, no?
No, the Sabbath is the Sabbath.
So the creator of a creation can't dictate what the creation can do.
Okay, so it was impossible. So this is your contention. It was impossible for Jesus to sin because he's God?
No.
Okay.
No.
That is what you're implying by saying that. He can make up new rules, so he can't sin. Because transgression of the law is the only sin. If he can just change laws, then he never could possibly sin, which makes him keeping all the laws absolutely meaningless.
He is telling them that you are viewing this in the wrong way, which, in your viewpoint, they are transgressing, but they are not.
They are transgressing the law. How are they not transgressing the law? Besides Jesus saying that they're not.
Because there is something bigger than the law there.
It does not matter. The law is the law.
Something's happening.
Little Red, the law is the law, correct?
Yeah, a bird's a bird.
Yes. So the law says you cannot do this on the Sabbath. They do it on the Sabbath. It doesn't matter what other things are there. Did they do what the law said?
No.
Okay.
I would say they didn't.
Is transgressing the law not doing what the law says?
Yes, it'd be breaking the law.
There you go. So they transgress the law. Jesus says it's fine.
Yes.
They're guiltless, but they sinned. He condones sin.
I do not know how to convey what I am trying to get my point across. And that is my fault. That was a fault on me. But from my understanding, this is not a transgression because this is not the same as like going to go plow the field in working on the Sabbath day.
You weren't allowed to pick from the fields either. It's in the Old Testament. I can pull it up if you'd like. You aren't allowed to do anything like that. You aren't even allowed to pick up sticks around your yard.
Well, then I don't know.
But
I don't know what this passage is trying to say then, if all that.
Well,
I'm not knowledgeable enough.
Oh, that's fine. And that's fine. Yep.
Thank you.
Well, Little Red, I've appreciated you being up here. You've been here past my timer that I usually keep guests up. I appreciate you. Come back another time and let's talk some more. If you want to. I appreciated you. You were an awesome guest. Better than any other guests we've had all night. And probably one of the better ones we ever get. So thank you for being here. I hope you have a great night.
You too. I appreciate you bringing stuff to my attention. Yep. Thank you. I'll look into it. Have a good night.
Have a good night. He was a good guy. He is a Christian, so he's going to have different viewpoints than me for sure. I think the problem is when so we get to a point where you have to kind of, like with the Jesus sinning thing, if people aren't very well versed on the law, it's hard to show them like First John 8, or not First John 8, John 8. John 8, Jesus transgresses the law again because it says that if a woman is, or if people are brought to you in adultery and there's witnesses, that you are to stone them. Jesus says he was without sin cast the first stone, and he doesn't have sin even, and he doesn't cast the first stone. Yeah, I understand that, Ashlyn, but Christians today think it is canon. I do, Minister. You are more than welcome to come up and talk to me about John 8 and Jesus sinning, but I'm sure that you won't. You've been a coward all night and just sit in the chat. But you are more than welcome to come up here. Ashlyn, if you'd like to come up here, if you have time, and be the co-host for the last hour, you are more than welcome. It is open co-host night. As long as I know you and I can trust you, I will bring you on up as the co-host.
Hello.
Hello, my wonderful friend. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Sorry,
Been
I
really,
love
really
the
busy.
law. So
yeah.
Oh, you're
no.
busy.
Hold
on.
Yeah.
Let me switch my internet. I think I'm having an issue. Give me a second.
Okay. The thing is the reason I still use John 8, if you can hear me, is because the fact that Christians do see it as canon. Whether I can prove it's not or whatever, it doesn't really matter to them. They're going to keep it as canon. So it's fair game when talking to Christians.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, sorry. I had to switch from my cellular data to Wi-Fi. It messes up sometimes.
Minister Rev Thornton. That's the lady that tried to talk about my kids. I'm sure you're misrepresenting it to make it seem a lot worse than it was. But you can come up and tell me about it, and yeah.
Wait, I tried to talk about your children?
That's what he says.
I've never seen this individual. Last year? What your kids last year?
He's a fan of this guy I had earlier that was misrepresenting everything I said. So I'm sure he's probably not far off from that. It was not on this very live. You have never been on this very live. This is a new channel.
Even if I didn't know you last year.
This channel is only like 4 months old.
I didn't even know Joyful last year, like at last calendar year. I didn't know Joyful yet.
Oh, it was okay. It was you on another channel. I don't know what they're talking about. But anyway, okay. they are cowards anyway. They've been yapping in the chat all night since I started and refused to come up.
I love how quickly the story changed when we explained that this channel wasn't open and I didn't know you. It was like, oh, no, it was a different live now.
But anyway, how have you been? Have you been busy?
Yeah, I mean, with everything, I mean, I don't know. Mentally, my brain is busy all the time.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that was the one rule tonight, that recent events are not being brought up.
Thank goodness.
We can talk about it later down the road, but I don't think my take on it's going to be helpful. I think what happened was devastating to the already imploding rift between the two people. And so, yeah. Like, I see these lives that are like, that's all it's about, and I'm just like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like,
I think it's okay to talk about it, but when it just becomes chaos and disorder and people screaming at each other,
well, that's the problem, is trying to have a debate about it right now. It's going to turn into that. I don't see how it couldn't.
Dropping everyone from the panel.
That true.
It's not a debate anymore.
Well, guys, my people, so this channel is not doing bad for we've been live for a month and a week, so we're still not doing bad. We're doing all right. Yeah, Joel, he doesn't even believe in Doug, so you know.
Joel's not a believer of Doug?
No, he despises Doug. He says Doug is a cult. If you disagree with the background that God is evil, come up here and talk with me and Ashland. Or if you'd like to talk about God not existing, anything like that, we are more than willing to have that conversation. If you're on YouTube, you do have to come over to the TikTok because my Chromebook will no longer let me use Video Ninja. It is unfortunate. Please, if you are over there, go ahead and click that thumbs up and interact with the live as much as possible. We've had a pretty steady 20 plus people over there, which is a good night for this channel. And I appreciate you guys being here. Especially my mods. Shout out to the mods. You guys are amazing. Guy Fox, shout out to you. You are here every day. Pretty much for my whole live, and it really helps me with numbers. So I appreciate you, Guy Fox, even though you cry in my chat.
He's a super fan. He a fan.
He is. I wonder if a lot of these Christians don't secretly have a crush on me, Ashland. I
don't blame them.
I really wonder.
I don't blame them. You know, you're a chill dude. You know.
There we go. One of my cats apparently snuck out of the house. I can hear him outside the window meowing.
No.
Somebody said put me in, coach, so I invited them up. I don't know who they are. Producer, are you a Christian and are you over 18?
Yes and yes.
Do you believe that the Christian God does evil shit?
No.
Okay. Do you think, let's see, do you think it's ever appropriate to take captive women and force them into marriages?
No.
You do?
I do not.
Oh, okay. So why would your God in Deuteronomy 21:10 through 14 say that it was permissible? And just so you know, in Deuteronomy several times it says if you follow these laws you will be holy. So he gives a law, and I'll read it. It says when you go to war against your enemy. What?
You said Allah?
Yeah. No,
Oh,
a law.
Okay.
A law from Deuteronomy 21:10 through 14. Yahweh gave, and he said, when you go out to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God hands them over to you, and you take captives, suppose you see among the captives a beautiful woman, and you desire her, and want to marry her. So you will bring her to your home, and have her pare her nails, and shave her head, discard her captive's guard, and remain in your household for 30 days, mourning her father and mother. After that, you may go into her and be her husband, and she will be your wife. But if you are not satisfied with her, you are to let her go free. Do you think that's appropriate? That God would give this in his perfect law, as he calls it?
Well, if you leave the screen, we can't hear you.
I was saying, can you repeat that one more time? I'm driving. I'm cut out.
Oh, sorry. We can't, yeah. You can't live and drive, guys. You can't live and drive. It's against TikTok TOS, and it's against my TOS, because I don't want to see anybody get hurt because they're distracted having a debate.
Yeah, although Jesus didn't give us any laws about live and driving.
He didn't. That would not objectively be immoral, for sure.
Yeah.
The law of the Lord is perfect, refreshing the soul. The statutes of the Lord are trustworthy, making wise the simple. I think that's a very profound verse when you go back and read the laws, because Christians can say like it was just for a time period or whatever, but then you have to wrestle with this. It says that it's perfect and it's trustworthy, making wise the simple and refreshing the soul, to capture women, force them into marriages, to take slaves from the foreign lands and make them your lifelong slaves. This is perfect and trustworthy.
To stone your rebellious children.
Stoning your rebellious children, which I think it is wild that Mark 7 uses that as one of the examples. As an associate pastor and youth minister and everything, I never really dove into this book into Mark 7, other than the Pharisees were bad because they only cared about following their own set of rules. That's all I ever took from this. But then when you actually read it from an outsider viewpoint, it's like, oh my God, why would you use those two laws as your focal point?
To be fair, there's a lot of awful laws to kind of randomly pick from. Maybe
That's true.
Put them all in a hat. And those are the ones that he pulled out.
Come on. Here, I moved it over so you can jump up through the window. Come on. Maybe I should leave you outside. It's meowing its head off, but it won't jump through the window. Oh well. Guys, keep tapping them likes. Let's at least... I'm going to probably shut down at 9, since we don't have any people, like, wanting to debate. We'll do a Joel raid, but unless we get somebody, then I will stay till 9:30. I get it from the Bible. The Bible shows me that God is evil. And I think we can both agree.
I think we can get it from reality too, if we think that God has the omnipotence, the triomni powers, we look around, figure out that if he's all powerful, all knowing, he cannot possibly be all loving in this world.
There is a video I saw that was really a good talking point for that, and it's about a certain kind of pig in Indonesia that its tusks grow backwards, and they'll literally in the males grow so long that they pierce their own brains, and they will die a slow, horrid death. And then they design, was that designed?
I don't know. I wouldn't bet that someone would say microevolution or something.
Yeah,
that it was the fall of man.
I'm sure they would have an excuse. There's no doubt. Link, let's see. Link, are you over 18? And are you a
Yes.
Christian?
No, I'm an agnostic.
Okay, what do you got for us?
So you were just mentioning the fact of, or rather, not fact, the idea of design,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of
Is
always
this
wanted.
haiku?
It is. Hey, how's it going?
Okay.
Is this
Somebody,
new?
just somebody she knows. Haiku
Oh,
was
okay.
not. You know.
I know.
So, like, I always wonder what would they define as design? Like, what is the criteria to meet that say, okay, I look at object A and object A clearly is design and object B isn't? Because for the Christians, they believe everything was created, therefore everything was designed. So it can't be a certain level of complexity because everything they've ever seen meets that same level.
Yep.
Right? It meets their same definition. So when they say, well, it's designed, therefore it must be, they're really just saying it's something.
Yep.
It's absolutely wild.
It's just this argument that we are here and we can observe, therefore there has to be something greater than us that is observing us. I think that's what it really boils down to, is that like this there must be an ultimate mind or ultimate consciousness. It all boils down to the same thing. It's that I am here, I observe all these things, and I don't know where it came from, therefore God. I think it all falls under the God of the gaps.
Well, what's being printed is like watchmaker's fallacy, right?
Yep.
That how can you if you don't have anything to compare non-design to, you can't possibly know something is designed.
Right. So and that's crazy when they use the watchmaker, oh, you find a watch and it's buried and you can just realize it's designed what compared to the dirt around it. And if that's the case, then you just defeated your own argument.
Yeah.
Because clearly God didn't design the dirt, right? Like if the watch had to be designed, then the dirt around it wasn't.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that people can't, like, even this new stuff with like Mars and stuff where they're like talking about how they found things that would lead them to believe there was once water and possibly even life. Even if they could solidify that and show it, it would either be a hoax or they would come up with some crazy explanation. I guarantee it.
For sure.
Let's see here. We got
Yeah, thank you, Link.
Brother Christ.
By the way, Link is extremely knowledgeable on the Bible. Just FYI.
Nice.
Link may know some things.
He may know some things. Well,
I don't think so. I know nothing.
We'll find out. That's history. Before Judaism. Okay. Guys, it is open. If we have anybody that is an op, come on up. We will be live for 5 minutes, if not, and we will be shutting down for the night. But we are live every Monday and Thursday. Usually I have a co-host that is scheduled, but tonight was open because my co-host fell through. We are booked up for September, but we have not even opened up October's co-host list. So if you are interested at all, I may require some back and forth to kind of figure out where you're at with things, like your knowledge on the Bible, your knowledge in philosophy, or something like that. And no, Justin was not supposed to be the co-host. I wish. But he was a few weeks ago, and he's a very busy person. He will be again in October. He will be again in October, and I do believe Joe Reed's Bible will be again in October. tonight was atheistic preacher, but there was some work conflict. Yeah, I really enjoyed having Justin. I think we do pretty well together. But if you are interested, DM me for the October schedule, and I will try to fit you in if I feel that you have enough of the same, not same ideas, but as long as I feel like you aren't going to create some sort of argument between the two of us. I think is a good way to put it. Because I've had that happen, and I don't want that to happen again.
Wait, so you don't want me up here fighting with you on things?
I would rather not. I would rather not, Ashlyn.
But it would be so entertaining.
Yeah. That is true. Do you have a topic you think you could cook me on?
I think we believe in the same things, so
Yeah,
I don't think that would be...
I think we mostly would agree on everything.
Oh my god, Justin, no.
I don't know. I don't know what an all good God would be. If goodness, whatever you measure that as, is to the maximal extent, then it would be like static. There could only be a single like state of being, yeah.
Yeah.
Like for maximal goodness, whatever that ultimate goodness is, you just have to hit there and stay at that level, whatever that is.
Yeah, that is kind of an odd concept that there's a maximum level.
And they use the word omni all the time, which would, whatever he is, he's omni that. And it's like, well, I don't even know what that could look like.
Let me see here.
He's omni until the Iron Chariots. Let's get this straight.
Yes,
there's a
Iron
weakness
Chariots.
to iron.
The Iron Chariots are a hard one for anybody, I think.
It's just God's kryptonite. It makes sense. Superman had a kryptonite. When
he's omni weak against them.
Let me see. Do I have... I do... Oh, yeah. So, next... Who do I have next on the 15th? I'm gonna have to look at it. I don't have it on my computer. It's on my phone, and I'm using my phone, so can't look at it right now, guys. But we have our schedule out. If you click on my name up there and go to my page, I have a full schedule written out. I think there's been some slight changes to it, but it's all the same people. I think we had to flop some days, though. But again, if you're interested, hit me up. I'm going to call it a night, guys. Thank you for being here. This new channel is... we're doing fine over here, and we will continue to grow. I think having these different voices is a really good idea, and keeping like the co-host host dynamic. If you want to be on the show one last time, DM me. I would be more than willing to give you a shot, as long as we could talk a little bit and get some understanding of each other, and maybe if we mesh. But if I already know you,